stage. I'm just gonna go ahead and start. All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we're the brothers from the GMS Atlanta Church. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praise to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakodash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. All right, we're out here on another weekend. All right, this specific weekend is July 4th. This is really the cracker holiday. All right, which we know as the Edomite. All right, it's a self-proclaimed white man. He celebrates this day for the quote-unquote independence of America. Because he celebrates the independence of America when all actuality this place was established on rob, rape, and murder. All right, mainly comprised of the Native Americans, which are Gadites on this sign, which are the Gadites on this sign. And you so-called Seminole Indians, which are the Reubenites. All right, a lot of y'all were raped, robbed, and murdered. And then the other tribes were brought over from the west side of Africa, which was the Judah, Benjamin, and Levites, man. All right, y'all got brought over to the islands. Christopher Columbus came over, the South America area, took over the Mayans, conquistadors, like the mother said, the Aztecs. Yeah. All right, and then fast forward to 1776 or whatever. All right, and fuck American history, but not really, because you got to know these things. Coming to this Independence Day, man. That's when you get the dumb national anthem. All right, this flag. All right, and the pride of this place. Ultimately, a lot of people are popping fireworks tonight in celebration of this place. All right, go ahead and get Nahum.
God, this is Nahum 3 and verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery.
Exactly. Woe to the bloody city. We all know what woe means. At this point, if you don't know what woe means, you ain't been doing your due diligence. All right? To the bloody city. What's the bloody city, man? America. America is that bloody city. Brothers was putting in the group chat, Mount Rushmore. All right, we got it here in Georgia or Atlanta. We got a place called Stone Mountain with this guy Stonewall Jackson. Okay. All right, they named the mountain after a wicked ass general who pretty much did exactly what the script said, robbed and murdered the so-called Native Americans. That's right. And they plastered it in front of in Jake's face, because over in Stone Mountain, Lithonia, Snellville area, there's a lot of Jake out there, man. Yeah. And they just plaster it in front of your face and rub it in your face. Like, yep. Look, this is what we did to you. We conquered you and took your shit over. All right, you read that?
God, this is Nahum 3 and verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not.
That's right, it's all full of robbery and lies, man. All right, it's all full of robbery and lies. And I see a lot of these people out here starting to take down, statues, monuments, things of that nature. Mississippi taking the Confederate flag, off of its flag or whatnot. President Trump had a speech or whatnot at Mount Rushmore, saying that, matter of fact, someone get that in the group text. He had a rock put it in there. He had pretty much said, if you defacing these statues and stuff, you're dishonoring American history. Well, American history is just nothing but murder. That's your rap sheet, all right? But people want to celebrate the Independence Day like the troops overseas are doing something. Go ahead.
It says Trump excuses protesters who tear down statues of wanting to wipe out our history in Mount Rushmore speech.
Right. And the history of America is just killing people. Yeah. All right. Now, these people who are in the Army, Navy, Air Force, military forces, and things of that nature, all right, they're going over there fighting for a false reality. Yeah. And you know,
paid mercenaries, basically.
Exactly. paid mercenaries, like the brother was saying. And I'm going to say this. I can say this straight up. I can talk about the military because guess what? I was in it. All right? And I woke up to the reality of things. What you're fighting for is not quote-unquote freedom for this land. All right? It's a bigger thing. Okay? It's a bigger wicked thing. They want to take Habakkuk the 2nd chapter where it said, oh, that's the spirit. Well, get whatever you was going to get, matter of fact. Because it's going to speak for itself.
Can we start 12? 2 and 12?
Yeah, you can get that.
This is Habakkuk 2, verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, establishing a city by iniquity.
See, that's perfect. That's perfect, brother. That's the spirit. Woe to him that buildeth the town by blood. And it says establish what?
A city by iniquity.
Establish a city by iniquity. Now, this goes on a worldwide scale. Get Job chapter 9 and 24. Get Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 10. All right, go get Job 9 and 24.
This is Job 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right. Keep going.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
That's right. Yep. Go ahead, go.
If not, where and who is he?
That's right. If not, where and who is he? All right. Now the judges of this place, man, it's the prophets that you see on the highways and byways. All right. But the world was given into the hand of the wicked. All right. So you military members who are super proud to be in the military and serve your country, you're doing this for an individual who wants to build cities by blood and iniquity. Okay? Keep going in Habakkuk 2 and 12.
This is Habakkuk 2, verse 13. Behold, is it not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire?
And read verse 12 again.
12. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, establishing a city by iniquity.
That's right. That's why he stretches thin his military forces, military might in all these other countries. If you think you're there, yeah, I gotta go on tour and, go to Afghanistan and serve my country. No, you're in Afghanistan because the white man wants the poppy seeds, he wants the oil, all right, he wants the territory, all right, he wants the power over there in the Middle East. There's no reason he should be over there in the Middle East. There's no reason it should be in Syria, all right, when it's clearly controlled and operated by the Russians, okay? There's no reason America should be over there. You're just used as a pawn. It just moves you wherever you want. You got to realize that. Whoever is on the edge of, man, I may believe, you got to be in the military. You got to understand something.
God.
These Edomites don't care about you. All right? They don't care about your life. You're just a number to them. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, because just to land back on that brother's point, it's you just fight all of these military guys, no matter what branch you're in. You basically fighting for the interests of the elites. Because that's all it is. You just a hammer of Esau's left wicked hand, man. And I got a precept to back up that point. This is Psalms chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. How can Esau solidify something like that if not but by through military force? Because that's a language in which everyone speaks, man. Hey, get down and lay down. And how is he establishing this house? How did he establish America? By the sword, man. So that's hey, he's gonna continue to flex that power of the sword. That's why he needs more bodies in his military to continue to push along his agenda to keep his house going, man. But you got it out.
Hey, that's it. Go ahead, bro.
This is Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Yeah, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Right. He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. This is one of the most proudest days today in American, whatever. They say it's the 244th birthday of America.
Mm-hmm.
All right? This is the 244th year you're celebrating. And so you too, you senseless ass niggas, you're celebrating Esau's beatings of you, man. Quote unquote Independence Day. What are we independent from? The scriptures say in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that we have to go for the one of all things. All right? We're the tail right now. We're not the head. We don't have substance. We don't have belongings. We don't have resources. What are you independent from? All you niggas are dependent on this place. Okay, so you shouldn't even be celebrating this wicked ass devil's Independence Day, man. That's right. This is a slap in the face to y'all. All right, go ahead, bro.
Who enlarged his desire as hell and is as death.
That's right. Who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death, man. That goes back to that pale horse in Revelation. If you want to grab that, get that in Revelation. The pale horse. Yep, Revelation. You know, he's that death horse coming through and killing you. The horse is a representation of power. The brother Tazabah beautifully broke it down with the military might. That's a representation of power. He's a forceful individual. He's the ultimate diabolical devil. He's doing his part.
Yeah.
Because he indirectly forces shit on you. All right?
Hey, but the scripture, if a brother go back to it, it says he transgresses by wine. And we know what wine is doctrine. It's the things that he put out there to actually get these people to believe on these things. Oh, I'm dying for a cause. I'm dying for something righteous. But really, you just being played.
Right.
That's
it, bro. Go ahead, bro.
It cannot be satisfied.
That's right. It cannot be satisfied. That's why y'all out there fighting a war that has nothing to do with you. All right? Matter of fact, get Ecclesiasticus 10, but good Ecclesiasticus, I think, 3, I want to say like 23.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 3 and verse 23. It says, be not curious in unnecessary matters.
Right. Be not curious in unnecessary matters. All right? If it don't concern you, don't worry about it. And that war over there don't concern your ass. You shouldn't be indulged in that.
Right.
All right? Wake up. Hey, I'm gonna give personal testimony. All right? There's brothers who've been in the military got about that shit. Right? I'm gonna give you my personal testimony here. I got about that shit. All right? I was in it. I signed like a 6-year whatever. I only served 2 or 3 years. Because I got the truth. I said, fuck this, I'm going with my beard. All right, I went up to colonels, and that was top-ranking individuals. Lieutenant colonels, majors. I said, this is what I believe in. What you gonna do about it? What, you gonna discipline me for believing in something according to your dumbass law? It's freedom of religion. All right? That war does not concern me. It's a part of prophecy, which I keep up with, but I'm not going to partake in that bullshit.
That's right.
Okay? So anyone who's in the military, because there's a bunch of scriptures speaking about centurions. A centurion came up to Yahushua with belief. Okay? All right? But you can really put those centurions in an individual who's in here in America who's a police officer. That's more of a good example of what a centurion is. Okay? Because they can actually get up out there. They can resign without any fucking problems. You see? And actually believe. All right? But if you get shipped off to Afghanistan, you in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. You through. All right, we can get Joel too. Joel the 3rd chapter. Keep on, brother.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Heapeth unto him all people. So the only reason you're going over there to fight for quote-unquote freedom so people over here can celebrate Independence Day and go over to your local firecracker store and pop some goddamn fireworks. It's all bullshit. All right? He wants to heap all people to himself. Land, resources, money. He wants to control everything. Okay?
That's what you're... Men. You can't forget that. The talents of men.
The talents of men. Right?
Hey, Jake got talents on his side. Us being Israelites, and he exploited for those as well.
Right. That's all he wants you over there to do. But he'll tell you you're fighting for the independence and the freedom of the people here in America. What you talking about, man? And shit ain't even free over here.
Well, that's the elites play on words. The land of the free is actually everywhere. The land of the free is the land of the Freemasons. So the war that you fight is actually for the interests of the international bankers.
Right.
So they ain't shit free. We're not even free. The soldiers that are fighting us aren't free.
You ain't.
But that's the thing with being a king.
Right.
When you're a king, you have subjects, right? And you use those subjects to take over other individuals, and you make them subjects. That's why scriptures have taskmasters and tributaries. You know, all property of the king. That's why every individual that's put down under America gets a Social Security, card, so to speak, or gets incorporated in the system and has to pay taxes, whether it's federal or state.
That's taxes is just a new word for tributary. Yeah, it's tribute.
You know, and taxes been in the scripts. The whole
Hey,
time.
taxes gonna be in the cave.
You can read Luke, the 2nd chapter. It talks about yeah, Caesar Augustus. No. Yeah, Caesar Augustus. I think Luke 2 and 1. And Cyrenius.
Yeah. Luke 2 and 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
Right, that all the world should be taxed. Well, why should all the world be taxed? Because he has control over it.
Yeah, dominion.
All right? That's right, dominion, which means the power over it. All right, you read the book of the Maccabees, the 1st and 2nd Maccabees. All right, you had Alexander, first King Philip, the second. Then you had Alexander the Great, which took his place. And then what? You have the 4 generals. All right, we went into the other week. The Deacon Barzal went to Daniel the 7th chapter, which I'm holding. But it talked about, we pretty much talked about how Alexander the Great came in, conquered, all right? His 4 generals, which were the 4 wings that's spoken about in Daniel 7, came up, the evils were multiplied, but they got dominion and started taxing. Israel became a tributary. All right, you Jakes conformed to it. All right? Oh, go ahead.
You can go.
Okay.
I was going to say something to add.
No, look, you Jakes became tributaries. All right, you meaning like what the Akim was saying, subjects unto your master. All right, go ahead.
This is under in the Greek, the word tax. It's apographo, which is
Like April, like the apocrypha is awake. I think graph, like you have graphics to write off. You write somebody off. But it means to write off, copy from some pattern, to enter it in a register or records, to enter in public records the names of men, their property, and income.
Really, it all goes back to titles.
Well, even so, the book of Acts talks about it. What does America do every year? Census. That's a write-off. All right? Can you reread that definition? But that's a good definition for census.
yeah, to write off, copy from some pattern,
Right?
to enter in a register or records.
See, you got a job description called data entry. All right? Which is pretty much your inputting data. Literally what it is. All right? You're inputting information that you have comprised and compiled up together and putting it in an organized manner. All right?
Yeah, you do that, whatever you're dealing with, property and things of that nature, items. Everything has a barcode, like you said, data entry. You'll have the main individual slapping barcode depending on the occupation, other individuals scanning, verifying these different numbers, and all numbers are different. All numerical codings, it's distinguished one from another, so products don't get mixed in the system. So they do that with property, and also they do that with business. That's why even in your employment, you have an EIN number. We have multiple numbers on it. We have Social Security numbers, we have EIN numbers, there's various numbers in different, we have a straw man and identity you go by, and that's really showing the property of this white man too, in so many different aspects.
Right, because I'm gonna say that's everything that Esau does on the left hand side is artificial to our organic way of moving. Right. Like I said, it wasn't say going after a pattern, because really taxes goes back to our pattern, which is the type. Was that Leviticus 17, where it goes into the types about you have to account for your land.
And it says the house of their fathers.
Yeah, the house of your fathers, your land, the animals, the first things of your flock. You had to keep records of it.
Yeah,
and we all of this goes back to us because we are record-based people. Even the scriptures speak about the generations of Adam,
Right.
The tithing system. All of that goes back. All of this is Esau got from us.
That's what the scribes come into play.
The data entry, like I said, the
Well,
scribes.
the main data entry is the book of life. All right, there's 144 names that are described that have, pretty much the predestination and sealed salvation. All right, the scriptures always talk about it. If you're not written in that book, you should be in the lake of fire. All right, just loosely paraphrasing. All right, that's a form of data entry. The captain is exactly right. All right, you got to know too that Esau's he deals heavily with logistics. He's a logical individual. It's just that he does it in a different type of spirit. That's it. He's a very logical individual, very observant, and very analytical individual. All right, he's very meticulous with what he does,
But
how he does it. Right?
On the lowest level, man, you got to put that out there. Because Jake be thinking that Esau on high when you say it, when you use that type of term.
I mean, but it's like
Well, that's their fault.
yeah, right. And then also, and all that, what I said just goes back, again, this will go over Jake said, the respect of Esau.
All right, Esau's a great nation.
Yeah.
That's why they did. Fuck with Jake, they.
Right.
At the end of the day, Esau is a great nation. We share the same womb as that. So he is a great nation. Nobody. Again, when you look at going back to your military might, these other nations never took it to the level that Esau did.
Right.
Esau controls the whole world. He controls air, water, land, your thoughts. These other nations Ham ain't do that shit.
Right.
Japheth sure as hell ain't do that shit. What did Elam do it? All I know is Elam's always had their land transferred from one nation to another, mainly between Esau. So Esau is a great nation.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I said, you gotta respect that. Respect just means to look back at it. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
You can, even when you're out playing football, I know brothers play sports. You can't show your opponent a lack of respect. You get caught off guard. There's been plenty of sport history. Plenty of sport history accounts where the underdog won because their opponent had a lack of respect. A lack of respect for them.
David and Goliath.
A lack of respect. Goliath was talking shit to David. And looking around, David was firing right back at him. You know what I'm saying? But it was just, he said, man, who's this, ready,
It's pretty boy, basically.
pretty boy who's coming against to defy me and all odds. But he had a lack of respect for his opponent. All right? You get caught off guard like that. That's right. And the Devontae Wilder spirit is what these Jakes are in. They have a lack of respect for this Edomite. Okay? Go ahead. What's that? Yeah, go ahead.
2 and 2. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor over Syria.
Right. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. You go into who Cyrenius is. All right. The word Cyrenius just means warrior. All right. But you have people who are over different sects of, areas, just like the Herodians. You had tetrarchs and things of that nature.
Feudal system.
And Cyrenius was just someone who was under Caesar who took the order. All right. You can go and look who Cyrenius was. That's a whole other thing. But the scripture shows you right there that taxing has been here. Ever since the Edomite came into rule, taxing, census, all these things that you see today have always been here. They just carry it over and advance it. That's it.
Computerized it.
Scanners,
fax machines.
It's just things that make it more
Easy.
More
accurate.
convenient, accurate. All right? You got more?
Yeah, in verse 3. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city.
Right?
And that's really the main point.
Yeah, everyone was taxed into his own city. All right? This is during the time of the birth of Yahweh Shah.
You do the same thing today. I don't pay. Unless you do business in other states. You always gonna pay state taxes of where you a resident at, where your state, your driver's license. I don't pay New Mexico state taxes. I don't have no dealings there, but I have to pay federal and state.
But that's why even like around this time, that's how we know Yahweh Shah was born in the springtime. Because around springtime is really where you get your taxes.
Right. Then what's every year? What's the deadline for taxes? So like April 15th. That's the inception of spring time. You see, that's the inception of spring season. All right. Every time the tax census, you get census in the mail. That's during the springtime. All right. It's not the dead of winter. Go ahead, Ecclesiastes, real quick, because this is always been. All right. Now I like this is new. Go ahead, brother. Ecclesiastes, I think it's one. Nothing new on that.
Yeah. Look at that. This Ecclesiastes 1, verse 9. The thing that had been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Right. We're talking about military. Are you Jake in the military? We're Jake in the Roman military.
Yeah. If I can say something too, brother, elaborating how this is, this is sophisticated setup and it's complex, but this devil did nothing more but go back to the predecessors of old. Even this land, we all, recognize the age. 1492, Columbus, landed here. Of course, prior you had the Latin tribes, but they had the model of, I think, 1492 backwards, BC times all the way backwards. How many empires that was established and studied and conquered and integrated. Jake wasn't the only one infusing with nations. Everybody took a piece of another nation's property. Everybody had some type of either monument structure or some type of identity. That's why gods, you have Egyptian gods all the way here in America. You have Egyptian gods all the way in Asia. You got Asiatic gods all the way in Africa. Because all these different nations, they don't just trade goods. They trade technology. They trade, infrastructural knowledge. And then they'll ship. If you're a top guy, they'll ship you overseas to those different locations. Like the Statue of Liberty, I think it was created by the French Orient Nations. That wasn't an American design structure, architectural structure, So these different nations, so it ain't that deep about these stuff,
And also too, when you go into the history of Rome, almost every Caesar took one thing from each Caesar. Every time they took over a region or controlled the area, they always told that area can keep its customs, so we can learn what your customs are. But you just have to be tributary and count yourself as a Roman.
Yeah, and just basically restate what I said. Like I said, there ain't nothing deep about Esau. The scriptures speak about how the heart of every one of them is deep due to the fact of their extensive research. Right. The power in which they actually do their due diligence, their homework. But they didn't create these things off of pure inspiration. Right. Everything was studied off of their forefathers and their forefathers' forefathers that conquered and stole. Because it says what in John 10:10? The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. Not only people, but ideas also.
Right. See, you look at the Edomites Constitution, even just a land back, how the Romans would let the people keep their customs. Well, look at the Constitution: freedom of religion, freedom of speech. We have the quote unquote freedom to do still the customs of where you're from. You see, if you came from India, you can still keep your customs that you did.
Yeah, that's why in Great Britain, the national dish of Great Britain is tikka masala, which is an Elam dish, because they conquered Elam, and it's like, I like the slave food.
Hey, Esau's very unoriginal. He's very unoriginal. See? All right, keep going.
This is Habakkuk 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his?
Hold that. Give Jeremiah chapter 7, or maybe 51. Jeremiah 51. No, start at verse 7.
Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup, in the Lord's hand. They made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Reread what you just read.
God. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and they turn to proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his?
Right. These people, hey, people around the world sorry, hey, this white man, he's really showing his horns, and people are starting to actually consider it now, finally. All right? All right?
I'm not saying no, but Cameron gives that new
Yeah, yeah.
like a
Cameron,
new
that shit is
slang.
right.
Racial slur.
You know, hey, these other nations, they've been up on game on this Edomite. You know, after they got scammed. All right, that's all these are pictures of scammed. Right? They can't stand America. All right? And now the people here in the country are starting to consider and realize certain things. That's why what we mentioned earlier, the statues and monuments and Confederate flags, and we have big Black Lives Matter on the street and shit. Right? These people are actually starting to realize that this damn devil is the devil. All right? Straight up. The white man is the devil. We're starting to realize that. It's not blatant yet. They see the things that happen. They still don't want to fully admit that it is the white man though. Yeah, you never blatantly seen a Jake come out and be like, well, all these things is because of this white man. You haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
All right? You got individuals saying it, but they're not going public with it yet. You see? Just wait until fucking Kendrick Lamar or something.
Or LeBron.
Or LeBron or Jay-Z. LeBron ain't. But just as an example, like a big public figure says, y'all really know why this is going on. Y'all know why, right? Man, because it's white man. That's the real reason.
Them Jakes ain't set up to do that.
Right.
But you have a public image. That's why you have to look at the term. You speak basically to be politically correct.
Yeah, PC.
Yeah, you got to be PC, and you got cancel culture.
Right.
You know, you can get blacklisted, blackballed.
Right.
Jakes ain't trying to lose their because really their inspiration is the job that they're in.
Right.
If you a celebrity, you were either an actor or a basketball player, and that's their first love. So really attaching to this truth, it's hard. It's hard to. If you got, it's like you got to be in with the. How that saying go? In with the new, out with the old. Right. You know, or out with the old, in with the new. So they're not looking to detach from their occupation. They ain't nothing.
Right.
You know, Esau pays them handsome.
They know what time it is. They know why they know why they are killing niggas in the street. They signed up for it. Yeah. Now that it's happening, they just playing. They still bamboozling Jake with, oh my God, LeBron's mad. That nigga ain't mad. That nigga rich. Right. He not mad because when he had to sign up to be in the position that he in, to be that billion dollar nigga that he is, he had to overlook a lot of injustices done already. So even them niggas ain't really mad or hurt or bothered. They just playing on the act because it's
really required.
Well, you can say it's required, but really it's to keep up with everybody. Like 6 months ago, it was be anti a lot, but not be open for everything. Like 6 months to a year ago, these same niggas were like, no, we gotta support the gays, we gotta support everybody because support is in. Now standing up is, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put the bandana on and stand up for niggas. That shit is cool.
Yeah, that's why the scripture says a fool's head is like a cartwheel, and it speaks about how a fool's mind is likened unto the moon.
Right.
Jake is always switching up.
Yeah.
They suffer from identity crisis. That's why they call celebrity, if I'm not mistaken,
Right.
actor, and they go into hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know,
Hypocrisy.
yeah, hypocrisy. These actors that you be seeing, they're nothing but hypocrites. That's why they have a cult of personality. They can always jump from this identity, this identity, and Jake get caught up in that bullshit.
Jake really don't know who these individuals really are. You know, shit, them themselves don't really know who they really are.
Okay.
Right? They get caught up in that shit. You got it. Heath Ledger. You know, he really got caught up in his role. You see, another individual, Johnny Depp. The fucking roles he be playing, like how do you go back to normal after that?
Denzel Washington.
You see, how do you go back to normal life with that? You know,
This is Jeremiah 51, verse 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right, hey, that's a philosophy. You see? But even so, what we're just speaking about, the golden cup is the famous people too. All right? That's a form of manipulation as well. You see? Jake, simple as Jake could do anything fucking LeBron or Denzel Washington or Will Smith says. You see what I'm saying? They'll do anything they say. You see? It's easy manipulation. That's just on a low scale of what the golden cup is, man. Just people set up.
And let's be clear, man. Moses had integrity when he did what he did. Because he did it for the sake of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. I stand for the elect. I don't stand for niggas.
Right.
So that's a whole nother balance of it all too. Moses did what he did when he slayed them. And look what happened when he slayed the Egyptians. What did niggas do? Oh man, what you think you prince over me? Right. You said you king over me. It ain't fun standing up for niggas.
Right.
Nah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like even that, like Jake ain't gonna stand up heavy for our people because why? Our people are heavies.
Right.
How is it that the BLM turned into this goddamn homo-loving organization?
Right.
1 week it was we standing up for George Floyd and Black Lives Matter and police brutality.
Forgot about George Floyd.
But fuck him. Let's stand for these trannies.
Right.
We got to stand for because black trannies is the real issue in America. And look, and then laws got passed. Laws ain't get passed to stand up for police brutality and shit.
Right.
But now you got laws where you got to teach faggot history. Like what the fuck that?
Well,
but that's what niggas. But at the end of the day, it falls into Esau's agenda. But niggas celebrate. Niggas are actually helping Esau's agenda. So we not. Like I said, it's a conundrum and a conflict for Jake to stand up for Jake because really Jake ain't really stand upable. You really can't stand up for niggas.
Right.
Because they'll still kill you.
That's it. That's it.
I get that.
Hey, matter of fact, get Acts chapter 19, start at 3. All right. I did a lesson.
I got to put this up.
Come on.
Jeremiah 15:1. This said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth.
Let them die.
Yeah, right.
Basically. Because it's damned if you do. And you know what scripture goes with that? What Yahweh Shai said. What Yahweh Shai said, oh, John the Baptist came, not drinking and eating, and you had a problem with him. But then the Son of Man comes, drinking and eating, and you call him a glutton and a bond builder. You can't please niggas. So this whole niggas trying to step up is just, how can I cap off of it? How can I make a few bucks off of it? How can I get some more followers off of it? Because you can't stand up for a nigga, man.
And it's like, this is a wildfire of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, what about crack? What about these different rappers that's been speaking about selling drugs? I remember hearing a song about Future talking about he sell his mama that raw.
Yeah.
Like nobody, he didn't get blackballed. I'm pretty sure most rap niggas and these celebrities and these basketball players, when they hang with these rap niggas, they was bumping that shit.
Yeah.
You know, they don't feel a sense of disgust.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, you listen to it, but you like, man, see, the Most High gonna kill him, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but these guys, it's like fucking what's that little game the little girls used to play? Double. It's double. These Jakes be double dutching, man.
And you can't win with it.
No,
Hey, a double-minded.
man, it's
Stays on
in all the ways.
Like you
That's
said,
all.
if you stand for Black Lives Matter, like you legitimately Black Lives Matter, but you take that same, like you did a lesson on, you take that same energy to the Planned Parenthood. Like you tell a black woman, like, oh, well, you support Black Lives Matter, but do you realize that damn near 100 million black babies have been aborted in the last 40, 50 years?
They don't take it
Oh, so you want black women to have unwanted babies? Shut the fuck up. You are a hypocrite. You're full of shit. You can't come out of one side of your mouth and say Black Lives Matter, but then you have an abortion every other month.
Black lives.
You killing black lives.
Right. Get that real quick.
No. This is Acts 18 and verse 3.
Hey, see, because like what the brothers are speaking on, you can't stand up for Jake. You can't tell Jake shit. All right. You can't persuade Jake. All right. Nothing's ever nothing's good enough for him. All right. If it's not the way they want it, they don't want to do it. You see,
I got you.
Paul was fucking fed up with it. Yeah. All right.
Now, this is Acts 18 in verse 3. And because he was of the same craft, he abode with them and wrought, for by their occupation they were tent makers.
Right, go ahead.
Like it.
I think this is when he met up with Silas and let's see. I think it was what did we get? Aquila. Priscilla and Aquila. Go ahead.
Down verse 4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath,
Right.
and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Right. So he persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. We're going to those Jews and the Israelites. So I'm just gonna say it. All right. You got the Greeks. You look at the Greeks. It's Hellenists. All right. Or Hellenized Israelites. This is uncircumcision. Okay. I love this script. I almost bring it out every time I speak. But Galatians, the 2nd chapter. The names the Israelites who didn't know 3 different things: uncircumcised, all right, a heathen, I think Greek, all right, or no, Gentile, Salaki, which is a Greek-speaking Jew, all right. So he went to the synagogues every Sabbath, all right, and started preaching, all right, kind of like what we do on the highways and byways every single week. We come out here, we preach, all right. Go ahead.
God, and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Right.
And when Silas and Timotheus were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the spirit.
Right. Paul was pressed in the spirit, meaning something was inside of him that he had to let out. All right. He was pressed in the spirit. Go ahead.
And testified to the Jews that Yahushua was Hamashiach.
And that's what he was pressed inside in the spirit for. All right. To preach Yahushua to the Jews, meaning the circumcision, the one who knew they're Israelites, the ones who knew the law. Okay. The same ones who wanted Yahushua on the cross. He was pressed in the spirit to tell them that was the Hamashiach. All right, the anointed. He was pressed in the spirit to do so. All right? Paul was a good man. Yeah. He wanted to tell people about Yahushua and how they can get saved. All right? Go ahead.
And when they opposed themselves,
right,
and blasphemy,
excuse me, so excuse me, nigga. So I'm trying to tell you, the kingdom of heaven is waiting. Repentance. You can be saved. You just got to believe in Yahushua. That's gospel. It's good news. It's great news. Mm-hmm. All right? No one else can get it but you. You're an Israelite too, man. All right? You know that. You know the laws. You know all these things. If you just need Yahushua and the faith in Yahushua incorporated, you're good. That's what you need. All right? Keep on. Just reread that.
God. Verse 6. And when they opposed themselves and blasphemy,
of course, when you read about blasphemy, that's a sin that is unforgivable. All right? Unforgivable. All right? It's unforgivable. All right? And they opposed him, meaning they are opposition towards Paul for telling them good news. That's why Paul had it right there. Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And the truth is, if you believe on Yahushua and call on his name and believe it, you'll be saved. That's the truth.
Because love darkness, man.
You see? Go ahead.
He shook his raiment and said unto them, your blood be upon your own head.
Paul said, man, fuck it. I'm going to have to say it straight up like that. Excuse my language. For real talk. Forget y'all then. Forget you niggas. Because I tell you something that benefits you, and you don't even want to fucking hear it. I tell you to eat right. And it's speaking of today, I tell you to eat right. Stop eating all this abominable food. I tell you to stop committing adultery. Sleeping around with your brothers, your blood brother's wife.
And stop sleeping with your brothers.
Right. I tell you to stop using it. Exactly. Stop using your rod in a way that is not natural. Okay? I tell you to mind your business and stop coveting. All right? I tell you all these things that is a profit to you. All right, hold on. I'm get Philippians chapter 3, verse 1 real quick. I tell you all these things, and you still oppose yourself. You still come up. Well, they always got something to say. Smacking your lips full of hot sauce and pork. All right, go ahead.
This is Philippians 3, verse 1. Finally, my brethren, rejoice in the Lord. To write the same things to you,
Right.
to me indeed is not grievous.
All right, so hold on. He said to write the same things. All right, so it's true. When we come out here week in and week out, it's repetitive. Every week, we come out here to tell you something. Tell you, get your life together. Get your shit straight. Put your ducks in a row. We tell you these things. It's not grievous unto us. Because we actually live it. I like it. I like living according to the scripts.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's easy. And we're trying to tell you these things.
The thing is too repetition. You know, it says saying goes, repetition is the father's, is the mother of skill and is the father of learning.
Right.
So anything that you want to master, you have to practice in it. The scripture says that, practicing in it. You know, rehearsing the righteous acts. You don't just rehearse it 2 or 3 days out of the week. Rehearse it over and over and over again. That's why it becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a style of life.
Well,
And these different individuals, they have their lifestyle, which comes in the form of negative or bad habits. Whether it's a drug abusing lifestyle, a drug selling lifestyle. Hell, I was watching this video this morning. You know, I'm not gonna be too long-winded, but the dude was speaking about how he had landed in prison for 33 years and was going into the tragedies that was taking place, men getting raped. And, you know, I only listened to a couple minutes in, but I might end up watching the whole thing. But anyways, he was saying how when he was younger, he used to do little, you know, petty robberies, but that shit started to become habitual. It started to become an addiction. Like anytime you flat broke, you ain't thinking about working hard to get a certain level of pay. You want to just yank it from the next man. Yeah, quick fix. And he started to basically get a rap sheet. He was saying around the time that 3 strikes law, which is Esau, the master predator, he preys on that type of shit. He loves it. He loves a robbing ass nigga.
He loves it.
These corporate prisons.
The private owned.
These private owned prisons. He has a whole system that he generates hella revenue for criminals, man. So basically, he was saying the 3 strikes law when it came, you know, basically he got hit over the head, you know, and that happens on you Jakes day by day, all day, on an all-day, everyday basis in these different ghettos and hoods and projects, preying on one another and letting the devil prey on you.
Yeah,
and
that's
be justified.
That's why the Spirit allows us sometimes to get tickets. You go through that process because, like what you said, you realize that once you go through the courts, you got to go to court, pay a ticket, or you got probation. You see, man, Esau make millions of dollars even this Corona is fucking up his pay because the court systems are closed. You know how much money is made in a ticket court, petty court system, and all that every day. Millions of dollars are generated by Esau for Esau every day just by niggas committing little petty crimes.
Right.
You ride around with your license suspended or your tag expired.
Make more from petty crime than actual big crime.
Right. Because big crimes, they're going to send you away to some federal jail or whatever, or put you away. But they want you to, oh, shit, we got you. You ran that little red light? Oh, you got your headlight out? Okay. That's a $220 fine, buddy. Oh, and you can't pay it? Probation. That's basically double it. My ass just got off of probation like a few months ago. I'm like, God damn. I should just pay the ticket up front. Because they end up making you double it up when you're on probation.
Well, and the synopsis to all of this is consistency. All right? Paul repeated these things. We repeat these things.
Right.
We do these things. It's just consistency.
Diligent.
We tell diligence.
Yep.
We tell you to be consistent on a righteous scale, but you hate it. You're
Karate.
consistent on the left-hand side. You're consistently fucking off. You're consistently doing little petty shit like the brother was talking about, doing little petty crimes. You're consistently indulging yourself in things that are unnecessary. You're consistently being around areas where you just don't need to be. You're consistently thinking of ways to get a quick fix instead of thinking of ways to better the situation. All right? When you have to consistently think of a risk of your next move, that's a problem.
Well, really, through the Spirit,
That's Habakkuk, the first chapter, where wickedness compasseth thee, because this is just it's the environment. It's a product. You're a product of your environment. There's no opportunities, and that goes back on to Esau. Esau got to pay for all that because he makes it where sometimes Jake ain't got no choice but to go illegal. Yeah. I was talking to the brother Tazabar about it, and I was saying to him, a lot of this stuff, Jake just don't wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to sell dope." That's not in our spirit. You don't just say, "Oh, I'm a kick indoors." No, that's because all your opportunities and ways up have been yanked from you. So there is a balance of you got to tell Jake the right thing, but we're not telling Jake to do the right thing so we can extend the life here. We're telling Jake to do the right thing so we can get the fuck out of here because there is no opportunity.
Right. So that's why when you read that in Acts, when we were just reading, he shook his raiment and said the blood not be on your own head.
Right.
All right. Really, like the brother was saying, the captain was saying, we're out here to clean ourselves.
That's it.
All right. But while doing that, we're going to tell you what to do. All right. You're completely right. That's Psalms the 23rd chapter. You walk in the valley of shadow of death. In the valley, you're surrounded. All right. You mentioned in Habakkuk, the first chapter, where compass means you're surrounded.
And all you see is violence.
All you see is violence. All you see to the right, you see a gay parade. To the left, you see the hood and drugs. Where can you go? You see, that's why the scriptures mention in the book of 2nd Ezra about the fire and the water on each side. Yeah, but there's one straight way to go, which is the right way, which we proclaim.
That's right.
And we say every single day. All right, to the Jakes we speak about, there's always an opportunity. Okay. There's always an opportunity. Who the Lord deems the opportunity gives to, which is the chance of advancement, there's always an opportunity.
That's right.
There's always a choice. There's a choice to eat the pork or not. There's a choice to stop doing this and figure out a different way in a more quote-unquote legal way to do something.
That's right.
You see, there's always a choice. All right, what you going to say? No. Okay, come on. What were you reading? Yeah. Hold that and finish that one more time. Read it one more time. We'll go back to that.
This is Philippians 3, verse 1. Finally, my brethren, rejoice in the Lord. To write the same things to you, to me, indeed, is not grievous, but for you, it is safe.
Right, but for you, it is safe. That's why the apostles and elders say all the time now about how this is violence. Okay, come. Fuck it. We ain't out here for you niggas. We out here for the elect. But if you so happen to walk past and hear it, okay then, whatever. You see? That's it. Go back to the Acts 18.
This is Acts 18 and verse 6. And when they opposed themselves and blasphemed, he shook his raiment and said unto them, your blood be upon your own heads. I am clean. From henceforth, I will go unto the Gentiles.
Right. So, fuck it, man. You don't want to listen, you niggas, then whatever. I don't care. I'm going to go into the Gentiles. The Gentiles were the uncircumcision, which Paul was appointed to. Okay? Because Peter stayed in Jerusalem and spoke to the Israelites, all right, who knew they're the Jews. All right? He spoke to the Israelites. That task in itself is difficult. That's why he had to have a strong foundation such as Peter. That's why his name was Peter, Cephas. All right? He was the rock. Okay? Yahushua put him there for a reason. Peter had to deal with IUICs and ISUPKs all the damn time. That's what he had to deal with. Oh, let me say IUIC because they don't believe the name is Yahushua. That's what he had to deal with every single time. And they fucked up every single time. Paul had to go. I'm not saying I'm lightening Paul's workload, but Paul, he had to go to the Gentiles. When you go, it's easy to teach somebody who doesn't know. You'll be more willing to receive it. I don't know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, rather than somebody that's conceited.
Right.
And that's, feels like they know it all. That's why Yahushua was having so many problems with taking the chosen land.
Right.
Because they felt like they were already, they were known as doctors and lawyers. They had their respective titles. Some of them were the heads. They generated a lot of revenue. A lot of people trusted in them. And a lot of them read, they were Torah readers. They read the Torah and the Tanakh day and night for a young man to outschool them in the wisdom of Yahweh Shemau Shah, they wasn't willing to humble themselves.
That does something to a man's spirit.
It does something.
Who's of course, not in the spirit to be corrected. And also too, they're so conceited, like the deacon was saying, and proud that they wanted to deem who would be the Hamashiach. It didn't even want to accept Yahweh Shai to be so. You see, it's hard speaking to the circumcision, man. Think you know a little something. It's easy. That's why Paul's I never forget it. Thing. I go to the Gentiles. They'll be more ready to receive. That's why when you read the book of Acts, always it talked about 1,000 were added, 5,000 added, because they just believe. They have nothing else to believe on. Man. I think when you go into the Acts the 20th chapter, 19 or 20, it talks about how Paul preached, and they took their books and burned it, and it equaled up to 100,000 shekels of silver. That's a lot of money. But they're saying, man, what the hell was I reading? Man, I believe in what he's saying.
Yeah, the big ass Egyptian books that we call them at $900.
Well, let me screw this. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that account. I want to get that. I think it's Acts 20.
Yeah, I've seen some videos, back in the day of those, black conscious niggas. Them niggas be having those books, $1,700 books, $1,800 books, top dollar books that the white man published. That's all nothing but lies, man. Trickery and witchcraft. Because those really be, like you have the different books of the dead. They be really high level books of witchcraft. Esau really gets into that left hand wizardry, to either they're controlling or getting controlled. So when you actually put, when you establish these different books, you're putting all kind of thoughts in men, and a lot of it is really deception. That's why I tell you in Ecclesiastes that the making of many books, it's wearisome. Because not only do you have all this knowledge, but you have to sift through what's right and what's wrong.
Right. That's why I was going to add to your point. I think his name was that you have the Britannica encyclopedias. I think his name was John. He made a quote one time. I'm roughly paraphrasing that. Basically, how those encyclopedias got established was basically he set himself up to be the standard. So that's how they do with their books. They set themselves up, and then they say, "I'm the standard." And that's why when you don't question the knowledge in a Britannica encyclopedia, but then they hide what they don't want you to have, because once you set yourself as a gatekeeper, I'm controlling, because information is money too, and it's as a currency, so it's a going and coming, so to speak. So like that's how they control it. Like you said, they set themselves up as a standard. Like, wow, this is Cambridge. They can't produce bullshit. No, they know what to produce. They know how to sell it to you and make a profit off of it. And it's garbage. The Queen James Bible. They know that the Bible is a profitable book, but now let's put a little switcheroo on it, because we want to make sure that we can get this groups of money.
Yeah. That's why you make so much money from deception.
Yep.
This is Acts 19, verse 11. And God brought special miracles by the hands of Paul. Verse 12. So that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs, or aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them. Verse 13. Verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which has evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahweh Shah, saying, we adjure you by Yahweh Shah, whom Paul preaching.
I giggle every time like this. All right. So exorcist is pretty much one who exercise spirits. You could go. I think Prophet Tahar did like a video like a year or so back on exorcism, like 2 years back, something like that. But you can go ahead and go watch that. But pretty much you exercise the spirit. All right. So yeah, some vagabond Jews came up. They saw the miracles that, or pretty much the power that was put on Paul from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to do these things to these people, relieve them of any sicknesses, infirmities, diseases, and get spirits out of them. All right, putting them in the right mind. They saw this, and they saw the name they heard the name that he was using. They're like, let's use that. It seemed like it's working for him. That's exactly how they went about it. Go ahead.
It's Acts 19, verse 14. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. Verse 15. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye?
Yeah, he didn't recognize him. All right, I just did a video on real recognize real. We're going to Mark the 5th chapter, Legion. He recognized Yahushua. They didn't recognize nobody else. They tried to bind him with fetters of iron, try to tame him, try to calm him down. He lived in pretty much a graveyard. All right, this man was possessed by 6,000 demons, because that's what the word Legion means, an army of 6,000 pretty much. All right, no one could tame him. But when he saw, you got to remember, when he saw Yahushua afar off, all right, meaning like Yahushua was necessarily close to him, but afar off, he immediately recognized Yahushua. Okay? And recognized Yahushua and actually Yahushua not to do anything to him. All right, go ahead, brother.
This Acts 19.
Oh, Salaki. So that shows you right here that this demon didn't recognize these men who are using Yahushua's name just to use it. All right, that goes to, I'm now speaking to brothers. That goes, if you're gonna use Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you better believe in it. All right, you better believe it. All right, what's doing anything without the belief? That means you don't think it's there. You don't think it's real. You don't believe that how his name is what it means. You don't believe it. All right, go ahead.
This Acts 19, verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them,
Beat their ass, man. Go ahead.
so that they fled out of their house naked and wounded.
All right, so that man who was possessed with the spirits, it's like, they probably came up to him and was like, see what Paul's doing. I ain't gonna do it. The man was standing right here. Hey, come here, man. Put hands on him and said, Yahushua's name, who Paul's using, get the spirit off me. That Jake was probably like, get the fuck off me, man.
It was Fugazi exorcism.
Right.
Which exorcism goes into cutting out demons, right? I think X is out. I think exorcism, basically removing evil spirits. And, the name is one thing. That's how you know you can have a name and still be off, man. Right. You have the scripture speak about the word and power behind it. See, a lot of people have the Bible, but that don't mean that they have power of the spirit. They can read it. You have a lot of these devils that can read it. They can quote certain scriptures quicker than us. I used to take certain Bible tests. I go to them extremely advanced tests.
Right.
Like, who knows this? But you've been having Edomites that know this shit, man. I was there, when Jeremiah, the 43rd chapter, around the 6th verse, the so and so, like, what the hell is he talking about? But to reiterate, go to the point, a lot of those different individuals, they would have the name, but they didn't have the spirit that was backing them. What, like you said, belief. That's what makes the Lord really, truly a breathing spirit within you. Is how you believe. Scripture says, "He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water."
That's what activates. All right, that's what activates the spirit to be working with you and to be on you. Your belief is the activation. It's the catalyst. All right, like the deacon was saying, anyone can get the name, anyone can hear the name, anyone can say the name. If you don't have any belief behind it, it's useless to you. That's simple. All right, you can get fucked up.
Like this?
It's just like them. They try to put hands on man in Yahushua's name. Get the fuck off me. Beat that. You know how Jake do. They beat your ass and take your shoes. That's exactly what happened. Because it said he beat their ass and they ran off naked. You see? They'll give you a motherfucking shoes too. That's probably exactly what happened. All right? Go ahead, man.
It's Acts 19, verse 17. And this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus.
Right. It was known to all the Jews and the Greeks in Ephesus. All right? So that's where the church of the Ephesians are. All right? Go ahead.
And fear fell on them all.
Woo! And fear fell on them. All right? Because that's always the inception when you first come into this thing. You get the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yeah, you may have heard it, you got mad, but ultimately the fear came onto you. All right, the fear came onto you of the Lord, because once you fear the Lord, that's the reverence. All right, you respect and you recognize. All right, and then you consider. That's what fear makes you do. All right, whenever Mike Tyson stepped in the ring, best believe them people that have some type of reverence towards Mike Tyson. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
You know, shit. You know, and started respecting and having reverence toward Mike Tyson in the ring, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Acts 19, verse 17. And this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus, and fear fell on them all, and the name of the Lord Yahushua was magnified.
The name of the Lord Yahushua was magnified because Paul was doing certain miracles in the name of Yahushua. He was going out there preaching, giving his testimony, all right, towards about Yahushua. Okay? When you go into Acts the 9th chapter, why thou kickest against the pricks? Saul, changed the name of Paul. He gave them the testimony. He's like, hey man, Yahushua is real. Yahushua is the Savior. He's God. You need to say his name to be saved. Acts the 2nd chapter. All right, verse 21. All right. Keep going, brother. Keep going, brother.
This is Acts 19, verse 18. And many that believed came and confessed and showed their deeds.
Right, came and confessed. Meaning, just like what we did. Man. We came and confessed, damn, I'm wrong, man. You know, oh man, now I realize. That's a confession. All right? Hebrews, the 10th chapter, I want to say, it talks about, but to do good and communicate. When they go into the word communicate, I want to say it's something, if I'm not mistaken, good. But when you go into that, it means, the word communication means to tell anything, pretty much, to say anything. Meaning what? You let it all out. You confess. Hey, you come straight forward. The book of Sirach talks about it. It talks about be not afraid to confess your sins and force not the course of the river. All right? You got to confess and be open about it. All right? Go ahead.
This is Acts 19, verse 19. Many of them also which used curious arts,
Right.
brought their books together and burnt them before all men.
They brought their curious books together and burnt them to all men because they saw the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and realized the book of the dead and shit, it ain't it. This Greek mythology, Jupiter, things of that nature, because I think when you keep going into it, Acts 19, it speaks about Jupiter and Diana, all right? Which is that women worship shit. Okay, because it talked about I think like a blacksmith or whatever, who designed these type of things and got word that people started believing in Yahushua. And he was like, I'm gonna lose my damn job because people are now believing in Yahushua and not in Jupiter. You see? All right, keep going, bro.
And they counted the price of them and found it 50,000 pieces of silver.
50,000 pieces of silver. And that is not fiat currency or dollar bills. That's an actual piece of silver that was probably dug up, hard labor, crafted and designed. A real piece of silver. You put it in your teeth, it's silver. It's real. You said 50,000? 50,000 shekels of silver. That's some big boy money. That's all that money that after they started believing, Esau started losing. You see? That's why they wanted to put Yahushua to death. And it's happening all over again to the apostles here. They want to put the apostles to death because they losing money. Because of what? Yahushua. That shows you Yahushua has power, but it shows you all their books is burnt up. Get that in Ecclesiastes. Get up. Oh, yeah. Ecclesiastes 13. Yeah. 12. Yeah.
You said Ecclesiastes?
Ecclesiastes. We're making many books.
12.
Yeah.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 12. And further, by these, my son, be abolished, admonished, Salaki, of making men.
Which is, it was a warning, right? An admonishment is an admonition, which is an advice. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 12:12, and further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books.
Right.
There is no end.
There's no end. Right. There's a lot. Hey, there's a lot of knowledge out here. Knowledge is infinite. But you ain't get indulged in the wrong thing, you go deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole, man. All right, go ahead.
I got something to back that up.
And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
Right, it's weariness of the flesh, man. You be indulged with so many other different things, and you start getting into some shit and bug yourself out.
Yeah, well, you know what? That can happen within the scriptures.
It can.
Because really, you have a lot of Jake that much studying is Jake is knowledge based, so they'll know a lot of information. But when it comes to having the understanding of how we lived, even in the ancient world, of the day-to-day life and understanding of it on a conscious state, they don't got it, because all they do is they just know how to read. Some men just know how to, like you said, just read, and that really doesn't edify you. You just know how to you just got information, a shit ton of information in you, right. But you don't know how to like apply it. You don't know how to understand that from a historical point. Right. You know, really putting yourself, like the apostles, they push us to what? Actually put yourself in it. You know, put yourself in the scripture that you read. But a lot of times, if you just want to be a person, well, I ate the whole roll. Yeah, you ate it, but you ain't digested.
Right. So that goes like when you really get into that knowledge. It's not bad to have the knowledge, but
you're a parrot.
Your situational awareness will be very low. You see, you want to have good situational awareness, which goes into the experience and wisdom. Situational awareness means you know what to do in a certain situation. You're aware of it. All right. Apply the knowledge that you gain
with balance.
With balance, exactly. You see, was that it on that script? All right. You was stepping on that.
Right.
All right. So that was.
You got more?
Yeah, I wanted to go into this. But yeah, just to back it up, and this ain't just like any individual that made that statement. You know, in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. You know, Solomon was a man of very, very high understanding.
Yeah.
From, you know, he was one blessed from Yahweh, to have that level of understanding. But he also studied. He was an avid, studier. And he's seen how through all his reading and research and extensive studies, a lot of that was just really junk mail, so to speak.
Okay.
1 Kings 4:29, and the Most High gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. So he had a lot of understanding, man. It says, even as the sand that's on the seashore. You reading, was that Wisdom of Solomon, how he understood the elements?
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 7.
The 7th chapter, reasoning of men, the virtues of plants. He understood a lot about a lot.
The beginning, the end, and the midst.
The beginning, the end, and the midst of times. And it says, and largeness of heart, which is mind. So he enlarged his mind to be able to house all that,
Hell
knowledge.
yeah, he had to have a mega mind.
Yeah, he was like a Jimmy Neutron, man.
Hell yeah.
Miles on steroids, but continuing on. Even as the sand that is on the seashore. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the East country and all the wisdom of Egypt. And Egypt had a lot of advisors and had a lot of wise men.
Egypt is still studied for the wisdom that it had.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people still have questions on how did, like people try to give a lot of credits within science and math to the Egyptians, but we know through history that those advancements came from us.
Came from us, Joseph, Abraham. Abraham was, if I'm not mistaken, he, sojourned in Egypt, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. For he was wiser than all men, than Ethan, the Ezrite. So these are individuals, like in today's time, we know, Socrates, Plato.
Or Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk, or, these type of individuals that's, innovators and things of that nature. But they had those same type of men that had a lot of clout, so to speak, for their...
men came back and filled the plot.
Yeah, and they came back and filled their lot. Ethan the Ezrite, and Heman, and Chakal, and Darda, the son of Mahal, and his fame was in all nations round about. And he spake 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 1,005.
Mm.
So he had a lot of knowledge. And like I said, going to the point, he started putting everything in conclusion.
Yeah.
You know, even though he had on the proverbs, we just have the, Ecclesiastes, we have Wisdom of Solomon, we have Songs of Solomon, which all of those are fairly small books. The Book of Proverbs.
20, 31.
Yep. So those are all, fairly small books, because he started to really take all this information and
Make it concise.
Make it concise, man. Everything, all knowledge doesn't matter, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just a feeling, If it ain't determined which it could better you or go towards a greater cause, which is ultimately the truth, then it really don't matter.
Yeah.
Out of all the books, brother speaking on many books, the most important book is this right here, man.
Right.
It has all the answers to Jake's problems, man.
Beautiful.
And getting involved in the scriptures, you got to take that. A little bit at a time as well. The scriptures tell you to eat the whole roll, but you can't just glutton and eat the whole thing in one sitting.
Yeah,
so
eat honey that suffices to you.
Exactly. You gotta do what's efficient for thee. Because getting into the dark sands of the scriptures and trying to go too deep, that can bug you out too. It has bugged plenty of people out. Go ahead.
Oh, this is Sirach chapter 31 and 16. It says, "Eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee, and devour not, lest thou be hated."
Exactly. And that's why it's important to get the milk, and before you dive into the solids. You know what I'm saying? Because it could bug you out. We've seen it. Guys come on YouTube, confess the name Yahweh Shai, and a few months down the road, they telling you that it's wicked to watch the NFL and shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
Chicken
where did
is
you
off.
find it? Yeah, where did you find that in the scripture? Jake be trying to take it too fast, man.
How John the Baptist wasn't a man of the Lord.
Yeah, shit like that. And then when you start going,
put the book down.
Man. Yeah, just stop, bro. At that point, because you bugging yourself out. You got to deal. A babe don't come out eating solid food, man. And that's just common knowledge to everybody. So why would you take this book, and try to devour it whole when you ain't even got the basis of it yet?
Yeah, you still got your baby teeth, man.
Yeah. If you got teeth, you chewing on it with gum.
Gum.
You see what I'm saying?
Sucking on you.
Looking stupid.
Yeah,
Looking
right.
stupid in the spirit.
Right. Looking dumb as hell. You trying to break down Revelation 17 and you don't know what the hell you talking about, because you ain't even started at the beginning, man. You just jump straight to the dark sands.
Because you know why you do that is because you want to be seen of men, not because of you trying to build yourself with integrity.
Exactly. Get the wisdom of scriptures first, man, and the knowledge, and learn to apply those first, before you dive into things that is not sufficient for you, man. Go ahead.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes, known as Sirach, the 3rd chapter, verse 21. It says, "Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength."
Yeah, man. Hey, and that's pretty plain and simple, man. You don't go into a company as a CEO. You see what I'm saying? You learn the basics first. You go in as a normal, what they call it, entry level employee. You get in the company and you trying to show them Excels and what you've been working on at home and shit. You know what I'm saying? You go get your ass fired, man. You always start from the basis of things and build your way up, man. And everything, that's just common knowledge, but you'll think it is. But Jake don't know these type of things, but you want to be deep, But you can't even get a proverb, You can't even get a a simile, a parable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just like you're saying, really applying it, man.
Right.
Applying. That's why Scripture says, "Better is a man with small understanding." Basically, and you know,
It's a
and
transfer. It's around 19 to 20 feet.
yeah, matter of fact, brother can get that. You know,
I'll get it.
it's best to just have a, you know, it's better to have a little understanding and you know, not much knowledge and all these different things, but you have other men that just want a lot because they want to show off.
Right.
You know, you'll see in the vid, like you have somebody that's a swordsman, know how to dance and do all the bedazzling and spinning around on the head and shit. People love that.
Right.
You know, you can pull bitches with that. You know, excuse
Yeah.
my French. You know,
It's real shit.
women love, you know,
The razzle dazzle.
the razzle dazzle, the fluidity and things of that nature. You know, even like we're working out, you have mirror muscles. You know, the muscles that everybody see, the ones that stick out most, that make most eyes be seen upon you. But you have other parts of the essential muscles that most people don't like working out because it's not being seen.
Yeah.
Of you know, of men, or it's not being seen in the light for the most part.
I give you an example. Niggas. You see niggas will be 200. They be 200 pounds. They weigh 230 pounds, and 200 of it is a waist up.
Right.
It's all chest, all arms and traps. But then they pull them shorts out, and they be looking like fucking Joe off Family Guy.
I was thinking the same.
Big as hell up here, but little because that's Jake. Bitches don't give a fuck about calf muscles. Shit, fuck that.
Right.
All right,
I'm finna see my
your ass gonna fall over.
Yeah, I'm balanced.
Right.
Falls down.
Fall back like a mother. You had a precept.
I got a precept. You mind if I read mine?
You got it.
This is Sirach 37, and let's go to verse. Give me 1 second. Sirach 37 and go ahead, bro.
Okay. Proverbs 25 and 27. It is not good to eat much honey. So for men to search their own glory is not glory.
Yeah. And like the brother Barzal said, man, that's why people do the things in which they do, man, just to be seen of men, you know. And it has nothing to do with you wholeheartedly believing in the scripture and you just want to, you know, get it right and have a personal relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You doing it so you can go out and show it forth through men, man. Like it tells you in Matthew the 6th chapter, you know, about giving alms and tithing.
Praying in front of men.
Praying in front of men, you know. If you really want to pray to the Lord, you do it in secrecy, man, not to be seen of men.
Hey.
But you got certain individuals, they'll bust out in the middle of a crowd, man, and start praying. You know?
Oh, you know what's good? You know what's big in Hebrew? I mean, big in Israel, where you know, like, man, this Jake, something ain't right about this Jake, man. The intro. Jake, if Jake hits you with a 3-minute long Hebrew long introduction, chances are that Jake probably off, bro. Because think about it, like Elder Apostle Tahar, he called, hey, Shalom. Yeah, real quick. Hey, Shalom, all praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Let's get to it. You know, that's it.
Right.
Rakar Quadash, that's it. Some men, it's like they have a whole script. It'd be 3 minutes of just a number Hebrew, and it's just like, bro, you trying to show off your Hebrew skills, bro.
Yeah. You know, putting the prayers and putting all the angels in the prayer. Yeah, to the chief angels, you know, Raphael and Michael, you know. Hey, bro, just give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Just, you know, get the word out.
It's a simple call, a lawyer, man.
Yeah, it's simple. That's why the apostles say that, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Life is, you could get through life so much easier just being simple. I've been seeing a lot of individuals, just people getting their asses whooped, and I watch them. You know, people getting their asses whooped and things of that nature for just being extra, man.
Yeah.
They had this one thing where Jake was gambling. I think I went in their house and brought out like $20,000 straight cash. Next thing you know, gunshots started to come out.
Right.
Because Jake like to be seen, man. Jake has that pretty boy spirit. And those type of individuals you keep away from. The scriptures speak about a bold fellow. That's an individual that's just out there, man. Yeah. You don't want to be out there.
That's because boldness and righteousness sake, like there's righteous arrogancy, and then there's wicked arrogancy. Like we're bold, which boldness goes into a form of arrogancy. Our boldness goes back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's simple. Like you said, Jake I'm bold. Nigga, you just got robbed and your ass probably got shot for being arrogant, thinking that you couldn't get touched. You know, I got my precept for you, bro. This is Sirach 37 and 19. And it says, there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and is yet unprofitable to himself. Because Jake can tell you 1,001 things, like you said, with the scriptures and wisdom. But then, hey, I'm trying. When it comes to little shit,
Yeah.
Hey, I got car issues. I don't know. Hey, bro, can you help me with it? I'm trying to make some money. Shit, I don't know how to make no money, but I can tell you about knowledge. I need money.
Yeah.
That's a part of wisdom too. That Jake they don't know. They're unprofitable to themselves.
Or know, the dark sayings, the whole book of Revelation break down to a T, but don't know to agree with your adversary quickly. You get pulled over by the police and you just goddamn let them have it, because you think you know your rights, so to speak. But when the scripture tell you, man, to agree with thy adversary quickly, the next thing you know, you goddamn your teeth busted out and you sitting in the back of the police cruiser,
crying to mama.
Just because you ain't applying the scripture and you're not getting the milk of it, man. You think in the day of Jacob's trouble, it's gonna matter how many breakdowns you know? No. What's gonna be the stability of your time is the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the scripture. And it's only wisdom becomes wisdom when you learn how to apply it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, this is Sirach 19 and 24. He that has small understanding and fear of the Most High is better than one that have much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
Yeah, man, because that's what's most importantly, man, the fear of the Lord, because if you fear the Lord, you would do the things in which he commanded you to do, Yeah, knowing the scriptures and knowing, the whole road is good, but how are you going to apply these things, man? Reread it.
All right, this is Sirach 19 and 24. He that have small understanding and fear of the Most High is better than one that have much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
Yeah, you know all 600 and some laws, but you transgressing all of them. You know them, though, but are you doing them? Are you applying them?
You should know them, but you should know that the law says that has a law on knowingly sinning.
Exactly.
Well, I add one to you. Our ex-leader, like we were just saying, man, he could pull precepts from the introduction of the scriptures, man. Be like, damn, that was on point, bro. But then let a little bit of rebuke come. Like that's another thing too. Brothers can pull. Well, when you handling this with your woman, this is what you do. Or when you handling this with your child, you do this. Or when your brother doing this. But then when a little bit of rebuke come, it be like you forget all the scriptures of taking the low.
Right.
You forget all the scriptures about the froward man and the what's the other word? Or the gentle. All those go out the window. You just apply it through your own lenses of emotion. So like you said, it's like you got to be able to balance it all out.
And all that takes a process, man.
Yeah.
This truth isn't like microwave goddamn popcorn. Microwave noodles. See, everybody's used to that microwave lifestyle. Mm-hmm. This is a lifestyle. You grow in this. We're not grown up. We're still in the processes of growing. Some brothers still on the milk, and that's fine. You shouldn't. If you want to milk, are you trying to rush to get to the meat? No. Scripture says, eat that which is sufficient unto you, man. And you grow by and by. That's why, at the end of the day, one of the most important things that you want to have in this truth is understanding, man. Yeah. You understand how things are, and you ain't really tied in the emotions of it. Because with a man that has understanding, they can process a lot more. Like as a child, sometimes children get their asses whooped. They might not know, fully have a full knowledge. Well, they know, like you say, you know better. But the main thing is they understand. You have children that know and get their asses whooped, but they still don't understand why they got their asses whooped.
Right.
And then they grow up, rebellious, pissed off at their parents because of this situation. See, we understand. We ain't pissed off at our parents because we was in poverty. You didn't make enough. If you would have got us into this program, we would have had better lives. I would have been a millionaire. We understand we all under the curses.
Right, exactly. Right.
So that kind of puts you in a spirit of rest, man.
That's right, bro.
That's right.
Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Before despises wisdom and instruction.
Yeah, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, man. Not knowing all the meat, It's good to know, but you want to start at the basis, man. That's the wisdom. You got to get that first before you get anything else, or everything after that is out the window because the foundation is shattered. You know what I'm saying? You don't start building the house from the roof. You see what I'm saying? You start at the bottom. Yeah, I'm working on this house. I got the roof finished already.
Hey, where the fuck you gonna put the roof
All
at?
right, you got a roof.
You just got a roof up.
You're right. He built the roof and sat it on the ground. So when he get ready to be like, bro, that's not how it works, man. Jake be want to skip steps. You know, you can't skip steps in the truth, man.
Jake want to take the elevator every fucking time, bro. Sometimes you gotta take them stairs.
You got to reread that.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
That's right. Because, hey, you really a fool, man, if you ain't really got the basis of it.
Hell.
Because it's like in any process, you know the finishing, but how did you get started? You know what? You got to be able to also learn for yourself and be able to teach others too, man. You done skip the foundation, so you can't even teach a person that it has just now received the truth.
Because you cheated yourself.
Exactly. You done cheated yourself, you know, but you can teach a revelation like, bro, he just started. He don't need that. You can't walk him through Proverbs, Ecclesiasticus, you know, the simple things.
Don't be a vocab alone.
Right. Now you can't teach them because you don't know the shit yourself. You started out, you know, above your measure, man. Go ahead, Al.
This is Hebrews 5 and 12. For the time ye ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
See? Hey, and that goes back to, you know, what we've been saying. And a babe don't come out chewing goddamn steak, man.
If it did, that's scary.
Your
baby come out of the womb with fucking teeth chewing steak, man. Throw the whole steak away.
hey, something wrong, man. So why dealing with, you know, the scriptures and the books? Why would you skip steps, man? You know, it's not wise of you. You know,
Because
you malnutritious as hell. Right. You know, you looking good on the outside, but you malnourished because you didn't get all the vitamins and the supplements and the minerals that the milk had to offer, man. You straight to meat. Meat ain't nothing but a protein. You know?
What they tell you, there's like in certain things in life that say like beginner, intermediate, and advanced, expert. There's levels to shit. And if you jump off, you like imagine that you skiing or you snowboard. They'll have paths that are meant for beginners. Like you've been doing it for a couple years, you go this way. It's not a crazy degree, you can handle it. But if you, fuck that. I know it's my first day. We going to Hell's Hill. Your ass gonna die. Like you gonna die because you jumped to expert. And when you do things like that, the expertise comes with a level of danger. Like how you say, when you jumping in the scriptures that you ain't got no business jumping into. I think El Pastor was speaking on that recently. He was like, man, that's precept. He was speaking on that, or he was like, some of this y'all men, y'all got to get this for yourself. He said, I'm not going to teach you every precept. Right. Because then you become proud. Like, well, I know everything that Apostle Tahar know. Well, we know everything he wants us to know.
Right. And it's the experience. That's why, like you're just speaking about being an expert. Anything you become an expert in, you have a substantial amount of experience. And most individuals, they put the number cap 10,000 hours. They say if you did anything for over 10,000 hours, which is roughly around 10 years of work, that's when you start to get on the expert level. Exactly. Anything before that, you moderate and things of that nature. Exactly. But that's the span of time. See, some men be wanting try to put in 10,000 hours in a year and a half. And it ain't even about the rushing.
Right.
You might have 10,000, like they say, master chess players, most of them put in 10,000 hours plus. But you got master chess players and you got levels to master chess players, man. Exactly.
And they do that beat that computer that one time, that mastered the chess. Oh, they computer and shit.
Oh, man.
And an example that is, I got a younger child. He's 4. He just now starting to play video games. When he put 2K on, you think he putting that shit on Hall of Fame?
Oh hell no.
He's starting that rookie.
I don't play that. I don't play that shit.
Right.
All Madden.
Yeah.
Fuck out of
here. And then I got an 8-year-old. He plays on a little bit higher level than his brother because he's older, because he has that experience. And it's the same way with the scripture. you pop 2K and you never played a day in your life, you going straight to the hospital. You gonna get your ass kicked.
You gonna cry.
You gonna cry.
Yeah, you get your ass blew
You gonna
out.
see how sorry you really is.
Right. You gonna downgrade the level, goddamn, in the middle of the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with scrimmage. You don't get too much. What it said, we're in your flesh with studying the many books. You see yourself getting to that point, man. You might want to just scale back.
Bro, just go be a nigga for a little bit.
Don't do
In context, you gotta put this disclaimer out there. This brother said be a nigga.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, really, put the book down and go experience.
Right.
That's what you need to do. All that knowledge that you got, now go experience. And once you get into that, like I was saying, the situation, you got the knowledge, use it. And experience. This is where you gain your wisdom. And then, now I really understand what I was reading. You see, you got to go get your experience. Go out on a fucking date.
Exactly.
You can know all about how a woman is. Through her is death and shit. Like, we'll go on a fucking date with the bitch. Right. And then you're really going to see how a woman is. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know, because you're getting all this knowledge and all this reading, now you're a fucking weirdo. You don't even know how to interact with the woman.
You're socially dead.
You're just a social idiot. You know, we went to school with guys like that. He got his book bag full of books. You know, he always on time to class. He got a 4.0. But when it comes to talking to this nigga, he's weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no girls. He don't got no social life. That's how you start to look, man, when you totally engulf and going overboard in the scriptures, man.
It's weird. I don't even like, personally speaking, I don't even like being around brothers like that.
Yeah.
That shit, it just irks me.
It's
awkward.
It's awkward.
You know, here we are. We done did the work. It's after camp or whatever. We just want to kick back and throw some shots or just kick shit.
Yeah.
But then a brother wanna, during the Byzantine Empire, man, fuck that. I don't fucking care about the Byzantine Empire right now.
Yeah, man.
There's a time and a place. Like, you got to be in the spirit to soak in certain things. But if I'm not in that spirit, bro, go away. Yeah. Go away. You kind of, now you making me look like a nigga in the world. No, you are.
Right, bro, take that hat off, bro. You gotta take that hat off and put another one.
You gotta change that hat, man.
You gotta change the hat, bro.
That shit be stank underneath.
Change the hat,
You
bro.
ever
Let's
see
talk about something else.
You ever see somebody wear out a hat? That motherfucking brim be through.
Be brown.
You
as
like,
hell,
yo, that hat is done, man.
Sweat stains.
Fucking
Take that shit off.
If you had multiple hats, you wouldn't. That hat wouldn't be
Exactly.
like that.
All you know is this. You know what I'm saying?
They be mismatched sometimes, but that's the only hat you know.
That's the only hat you know, bro. You gotta be well
Change it
versed,
up, man.
The scriptures say, what it says about knowing all things.
You got to know all things.
Yeah, you gotta have unction to know all things, bro.
You gotta have an unction to know how to chill.
Chill out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Stop being weird.
That
The
shit
Apostle
weird.
Kabar did a video on that.
You know, so 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 1. Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifies.
Oh man, reread that, bro.
1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 1. Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifies.
Going back to the scenario we just talked about. You in there trying to teach brothers. We watching. Everybody knows that, bro. Just sit down and chill out. You know what I'm saying? That puffing you up. Now you want to be seen. We trying to just watch the game, bro. We know you know, and there's men around you that know that. But now it's not your time, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a balance to everything. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, if I may, in the beginning of that too, that shows you when and where too, where it says in the knowledge of idols, the touching of idols, we know. Yeah, we know about Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Me personally, I don't attend shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? And stop ultimately, but even so, I get that we always bring that out when like Thanksgiving or Christmas comes around, and your family offers you like a plate. We always bring that script out. All right, man. Well, we know. Don't want to sit here and curse your parents out. Like, come on, man. It's a time and place. And if you don't really want, then you don't have to. Me personally, I'm in the spirit. I don't even want the plate anymore. At first, there's nothing wrong to go over there and grab plate the fuck out. But don't just be over there breaking down why Thanksgiving is the worst fucking thing in the world, because it is. But you have some sense.
You end up bringing out Leviticus 11 chapter and shit.
Right.
Man, people don't want to hear that shit.
Grab a plate what you know has the, the correct things that you can eat. Get the fuck on.
And don't be wearing your woman's ears off at home either.
Right.
Because you ain't got nobody else to talk to, and you just want to every time you and your ribs sit on the couch, you always want to bring out a precept. There's a time and a season for that too. Sometimes your woman needs a precept, but then sometimes you just wearing her ass out and you wonder why she hates you.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear it all the time.
She don't need all them precepts.
She don't need all them precepts. And well, baby, this is what the BLM, the scriptures speak on that. No, bro, shut the hell up, man.
That's like a Jake. He a workaholic. He come home, he bring the work home and shit.
Thank you.
Don't nobody want to be around a person like
Nobody
that.
want to be around.
You're like, nigga, go back to work.
Talking about work at work. I hate niggas like, I be at work. Niggas want to talk about work. Bro, I don't want to hear about work.
Nigga, I'm on my lunch break.
Right.
Like, bro, that's those jakes. They get so caught up. That's the thing. That's why it's a net. The scriptures speak about, matter of fact, look at this.
You know what that account got to touch the Ark of the Covenant. It was falling here. Samuel. You know.
Oh, you got. You want? I think you want.
Okay.
Oh, so like this point where I was trying to make reference to, because I was saying that the scriptures is a net, and I'm gonna throw it right back to the brother. Okay. But this Proverbs 1, verse 2, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment, and equity. Which equity goes into that which is equal balance. To give subtlety to the simple, because when you come into knowledge, you come in simple.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing. That's why you actually come in and being brought into this truth. But you learn the art of subtlety, which the word subtlety, sub is under, and till goes into the web. Like Apostle Gabar, he brought this out years ago. The spider. The spider has a certain type of I would say like a silk
secretion or whatever.
A secretion of silk that they secrete out of their mouths, and that's how they create those immaculate webs. And they know how to work the web. They know how to be on top of the web and not. You never seen a spider like, damn, the spider caught up in the web. Let me help the spider.
Y'all come help me.
Yeah, no, they build the web, and they don't create super big webs. They create a certain web that they can walk on to catch others in.
Whether it's in a corner or they know exactly where they at. They position it.
That's right, and we have to be the same way. We have to be subtle. You don't get caught. See, some men get caught up in the web there. Like the scriptures speak about, Esau built in the net and he's falling there. Some jakes fall into their own trap, so to speak, because they're building it too big, they're building it too fast, they're not building it properly and detailed, so to speak, and they get caught up in it. And then they don't know how to walk on it. Mm-hmm. You creating something that you don't even know how to walk on. You want to create something that's simple. The simplest things you can walk on. A simple layout, man. For yourself to profit. You got it, bro.
Beautiful.
Hey, and Apostle Gabar always preached that too. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, bro. You're not getting into the kingdom off of how many precepts you know. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there.
Not at all.
It's not gonna happen. You ain't applying nothing. You ain't building. You ain't doing nothing. You just know a lot. That's not gonna get you salvation.
Or there's many videos you do.
Yeah.
You got some individuals that's gonna come in that's gonna be in the kingdom that never did a video.
Never kept a law.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let me 11-hour Israelites, man. The scriptures speak of that. But you don't know that though.
I gonna say, but for balance sake, don't be like, well, now I'm just a one precept Israelite.
Yeah, right.
Because you still gotta grow. You gotta be well rounded, and as you level up, like how you were saying with your child, that was a beautiful example. You start out on a level, but you don't stick at that level.
Right.
Like if you go into a gym and you're like, all right, this is my day one, I'm gonna curl these 5-pound curls, and then a year come by and you still curling 5 pounds.
Right.
You wasted a whole year of time, and you're gonna be discouraged because you're gonna be like, why am I not growing? Because you stuck to the same pounds. Exactly. Your body is looking for progressive overload, so there's a balance to growth, but at the same time, for balance, don't just be, well, I just know that the tribes, and that's it.
Right.
Well, you ain't gonna grow. And then, like you said, when other things develop that you're gonna need, you ain't gonna have it.
Exactly.
But just for balance, I just want to throw that out there.
You gotta put it out there.
Yeah.
JB, like you said, JB looking for reasons
Jay
to just
looking
be
for anything.
Was snaking
cool.
slither point.
Yeah, them brothers down in Atlanta said we ain't really got to do that many videos.
Yeah, we ain't got
that many videos. We ain't gotta read. We ain't gotta study. We just gotta be simple.
We gotta be niggas.
Right. No, that ain't what we saying. We saying if you want milk, deal with milk.
That's why I said that's the net. See, you can say certain things, and words have power. And Jacob spins the web, man.
Mm-hmm.
They spin the words that you say, and they create a whole new net for
A whole nother doctrine.
a whole nother doctrine. We didn't say none of those things, but that's what you took.
Yeah, right. That's all.
And if you take it, what does the scripture say? That the Most High, Yahweh Shai is known as basically a gin of offense, a stone of stumbling. If you get caught up in it, that's on you at that point. Being simple in the wrong context.
Exactly.
Right.
Continue on, bro.
Too simple.
Verse 2. And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know.
Yeah. You don't know nothing you supposed to know, but you know shit that you don't supposed to know. You walking fucking contradiction. You're walking oxymoron. You claim to be on a certain level, but when it comes to the simplest of things, you are unable to get yourself out of it. You know what I'm saying? I used the example of the cop, but hey, you can tell the cop, you can break down, the 7 heads, 10 horns. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. But you don't know how to get yourself out of this ticket or this trip that you could possibly be taking to the fucking county.
Or just accepting it.
Yeah.
And cops are simple.
Yeah.
You got to talk to them from a simple standpoint.
Right.
And Jake know you be wrong. You know your license suspended. You know damn well Esau, if you get caught without it, there's consequences to it. But here it is, you trying to, throw the scriptures at them. Like, come on, bro, just take the ticket. You know you weren't supposed to be driving.
Right.
Simple as that. Is it more?
Oh, no, that was
Kind. And I'm gonna get this account. It was a well-known thing in Israel that only the priest was supposed to touch the ark of the covenant.
But that get 1 Chronicles 15:2 before you read that account.
Yeah, to lay down the foundation of it. It was a known thing in Israel that the priest was the only one that was supposed to touch the Ark of the Covenant, and I'm pretty sure this individual knew that, but he got caught out there. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing of knowing certain things but not applying them, and we'll see what happened to this guy. But before that, go ahead and read that, bro.
This is 1 Chronicles 15, starting at verse 2. Then David said, none ought to carry the ark of the Most High, but the Levites, for them have the Lord chosen to carry the ark of the Most High and to minister unto him forever.
Because the Levites were known as the priests. When you go back into the scripts. All right. So with knowing that, let's go ahead and get the account.
Those are the instructions.
Right.
All right, this is 2 Samuel chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 5. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord and all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps and on psalteries and on timbrels and on cornets and on cymbals. Verse 6, and when they came to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of the Most High and took it and took hold of it, for the oxen shook it.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and the Most High smote him there for his error.
Yeah. So he was put to death for touching the ark. It said in the Chronicles that only the Levites supposed to touch it, and I'm pretty sure that was well known throughout Israel. Just like guys know the scriptures, but when it comes time to apply them, you get caught out there bad. Now in this case, he was put to death. Now you may not be put to death, but there's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? By knowing the scriptures but not applying them.
Get Acts 5. You were speaking about the other time.
Exactly.
Get Acts 5.
Acts the 5th chapter. Because it happened multiple times in the scripture, man, where the people knew, but they didn't apply. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, the ass or donkey bumped the ark, and the guy thought it was, was gonna fall and hit the ground, and he touched it. Something as simple as that, man. He could be put to death.
Wait, two, that showed, you can say a lack of faith, too, from Uzzah. He, I think it's going to fall. But, according to Jeremiah, the 32nd chapter,
think like verse 26, it talks about that nothing is too hard for the Lord. So what would be so hard for the Lord to keep the ark up? Just keep just keep the same of what David said. Don't touch the ark. Nothing's too hard for the Lord. If it was going to tip over, who says the Lord won't just put it right back up? He don't need you to, exhort yourself or whatever. It's something that doesn't concern you.
Exactly.
He's probably a demon, man. He's probably a demon in that
Yeah,
before
in the
that,
understanding
man.
of it, yeah.
Because even with Lot's wife, it don't go into the details of why that happened, but there's probably some more to the backstory, like for his ass. Because the Lord said that no man's ever died being innocent, perish should be innocent. But like, goddamn,
Hey, it's possible. Yeah, he could be a demon. He just regular Joe Schmo. Yeah, at the end of the day, you see prophets. You see prophets in the script who prophesied, did all that. He made one wrong move, got tore up by lions and bears and things of that nature. You see?
Water for Yahweh Shemi, I was shot first.
That's it. Moses got to pay attention
to the promise land.
Nah, Moses didn't make it.
He didn't make it to.
And then you get the scriptures. You
Does that
get a
make
little
you
emotional and shit.
Right.
But does that make him?
But Moses didn't make it because of that. You like,
Right.
but you understand. See, in the truth, you understand more. But you be like, damn, if I was in those shoes, I probably would have made that same. I wouldn't even have been on close to a level of Moses, and he didn't make it.
You're right.
The scriptures really humble you, man.
It does.
You like all that work that he put in, him and his brother Aaron. Even Aaron building the golden calf and going off.
Right.
He had to fix it for Jake. He went through a lot of grief, and he still didn't make it. But it was all for prophecy's sake, for the truth's sake. Because him in reincarnation, he's gonna make it.
Right.
But it had to build up to something bigger, man. The Lord, not saying he pawned Moses out, but the Lord will pawn certain men out, for the sake of the truth's sake, man. 2/3 really they getting pawned out, for the bigger picture. So the false prophets. What do they say? The necessary evils. Some individuals are necessarily set up to be evil, for the ministry's sake. As it is written, you can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
Another man kind of like that is Stephen. Man, he was just. It talks about the 7 men who were filled with the Spirit. Man, but Stephen was filled with the Spirit. Why did he just, But then you get the understanding of it. He got stoned, man. These niggas out here don't believe and things of that nature. But he was a righteous man. He just went to sleep.
Man, listen, bro. Like that was a martyr. He was a martyr.
Yeah, he martyred.
The man that died because he touched the Ark of the Covenant. This is like, God damn.
I mean,
yeah,
I was just bringing.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, in a sense, it's one thing for you to get stoned for doing the work, but you just appear in a book, and that's just a point for the Lord to put fear in us, that the Lord will kill your ass for the littlest thing. So we're using this to make light of the seriousness of the Lord, the gravity of it, but at the same time, there's examples where, like, the man with the sticks, pick the sticks on the Sabbath. It's just like God damn.
Bring them out.
After that, you start to hate sticks.
And that all goes back to the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Yes.
If he feared the Lord, he would never touch that Ark of the Covenant. If he felt that he would possibly be put to death for it, I'm pretty sure. If he knew what the consequences was going to be prior to him touching the Ark of the Covenant, he wouldn't have did it.
I would have let it drop, man.
If it had dropped, he didn't even know. It would probably just shake it a little bit.
If it had dropped, it would have been on someone else's head.
Right.
Maybe it was like the spur of the moment type. That spur of the moment, they like, oh shit. But damn, like, bro, you got caught.
You see like a China dish or whatever. Your initial thought is you gonna see it's move. He saw you. We gonna see it. He saw it moving in slow motion. Like, oh shit.
Right.
And he died in slow motion too.
Right. Go ahead.
All right. This is Numbers chapter 15, starting at verse 32. I start at verse 31. Because he hath despised the word of the Lord and have broken his commandment, that soul shall be utterly cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him. Verse 32. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. 33.
And the basis of it, you're supposed to be doing no type of work on the Sabbath, man. Right. There are certain guys that's tying it back into today's time. They'll know that and go out and do some shit they ain't have no business doing and get caught out there, man. It's the Sabbath, bro. What you was doing for building the house when you didn't have to, and some shit collapsed on you. just something as simple as that, man. And the Lord will take you out, man. So that's why you gotta not only know the scriptures but apply them. You know, that's the key. Go ahead.
All right, Numbers 15 and 33. And they that found him gathered sticks, brought him unto Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation. Verse 34. And they put him in ward because it was not declared what should be done to him. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp.
Hey, that's a horrible way to go out, man. For something as simple as, you know, it's something as simple in the eyes of men as picking up sticks on the Sabbath. But hey, you better do what the Lord told you to do. He said, no work shall be done on that day. Then that's what it is, man. You know. So don't be like we were saying. Be simple, but don't be simple.
The water and always is like there's 1,000 reasons to give the glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and be thankful to Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh Shai sat in that mercy seat and allowed us to be able, because we go off on the Sabbath. You know, there's things that we are not able to avoid on this side. So the Lord sending his son, Yahweh Shai, to basically be that buffer, be that sit in that mercy seat and be that continual sacrifice for us. Man, this is the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because if that sacrifice wouldn't happen, we were still under that old law. Man, we probably should have been murdered like 30 times last week.
Exactly.
Should have died. We commit sins every week, and then sometimes them sins they add up. Be like, nah, bro, you got like 8 charges.
Right.
Iniquity.
Right. Yeah.
So
hey, like I said, the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, for being the buffer, being what's the word? The ambassador, so to speak.
He's on the forerunner of our faith.
Yeah, reconciling the relationship between us and the Lord.
And that's why he had to have such a high office as the high priest, because he had to be without spot and blame to basically erase the old law. Of course, we know it as, putting in context. It's not erased, hasn't done away with. It's actually basically completed. Like the Lord said, I come not to do away with the law, but to fulfill it. Exactly. He made the law fulfilled through himself, and also shedding his blood for the atonement of the nation of Israel, so that we don't have to go to the ancient atonement. All right, if we sin or transgress, we don't have to go to the priest and have the priest, sprinkle the blood, and do the different burnt offerings and the peace offerings and all these different things, to actually purge us of our iniquities. Now we have the name and we have, repentance. All right, but I have a precept. John 1 and 17. I started 17. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahweh Shai. Yeah, so the laws of 613, when it was given to Moses, it was handed out, and it wasn't any type of ways to weave that law, so to speak, to the left or to the right. The law was very tough on individuals depending on the penalty. You had certain crimes that you might have to pay a privilege, pay a certain amount of money, or you would have to, penalties were higher. Some would be put to death. And all of us have done things that were worthy of death. Exactly. If you sold drugs, you worthy of death. If you took drugs, you worthy of death. So that's why, Yahweh Shai, he is that man to give us that level of mercy through the grace. That's why scriptures always speak about the grace or the mercy of Yahweh Shai. And it's not mercy to keep going off, but to turn back and return unto the Lord.
It's Romans 6.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Psalms 130 and 3. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand?
Hey, and what the scriptures say, whoever be without sin cast the first stone. Man, we ain't without sin. Our righteousness is as filthy rags, man.
John 8.
So we know, we know that in this current setting that it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? But we just, using that as an example, man. The Lord can do it. Our thoughts are not his thought. His way is not our way. Our way is not his ways. Roughly paraphrasing. The Lord doing what he wants, man. But if he sees it necessary that you be put to death for a certain sin that you've done, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? You said you had something?
Yeah, kind of had something. This is Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. Verse 23. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. So like the brother was saying, like the brother's been saying, you know, the Lord's mercies are renewed every day. You know, if you come in a contrite spirit. The scriptures also say charity cover a multitude of sins. You know, so those things that Peter mentioned in the first chapter, you know, are applied to us, man. Trying to seek out the ways of the Heavenly Father. But I mean, there's some things that, you know, like going back to the Sabbath, there's some things that you can't, you have to stay away from, like getting physical with your woman on the Sabbath, some things of that nature. We understand that, you know, brothers might have to work on the Sabbath, but there's some things, you know, not cranking up the stove. But, you know, through the mercies of the Heavenly Father, we're still out here preaching the word.
Yeah, and the law was so heavy that we would have to have our own sovereign, you know, our own sovereign system, so to speak, in order to truly keep the law. If you would transgress, you would have, you know, bullocks, you would have certain clean animals on standby.
Right.
You know, for when you would transgress, and you would have to take it to the priest, and they would have to have a certain body parts and things of that nature. So what happens when the priests go off? You know, you have different priests, you know, that would actually take care of other priests in the spirit, and you even had levels of priests, which is a high priest and things of that nature. But we don't have that structure. Majority of the Haitians we know are straight up niggas, man. Think about the nation that's supposed to be the priests. You go to Haiti trying to get cleansed, you're gonna get more demons on you.
Man, they just fucking witches and warlocks.
Yeah, it ain't nothing but high level sorcerers, man. Yeah. So how do we repent and how do we turn back without the sprinkling of the blood and without these different services that we had in the days of old? Through the name and pure belief. That's through these living waters. That's how we cleanse.
And that's not an excuse to just blatantly go off.
Yeah.
You know, certain things are controllable. You know, like not going to get an edge of. You know, sustaining from these unclean foods to the best of your ability, because we don't know what the hell is in Esau food, because we didn't grow the animals ourselves and go out and, you know, kill them and cook them up. You know, we don't know what's been done to the food by the time it gets to our table. You know what I'm saying? But
we don't have control over it.
We don't have control over it. Just like what I'm saying, we would have to have our own sovereignty system set in place, man, and our own land. We over here in a strange land, in the enemy's land.
Scripture says what? How can we sing the Lord's song in the strange land?
Exactly.
Which this is truly the Lord's song, and we can only sing it really through the words, but we can't fully keep like you just speaking on. We can't fully keep these different commandments. We can't fully, you know, basically be Israelites. We're not full-scale Israelites. You know, we're rehearsing the righteousness. I got a precept about that, brother.
This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as live it shall die.
And that's the thing too. The commandments was conducive to life and longevity, man. You know, but the ways of Esau is death, because it teaches you and makes you go everything contrary to the scriptures and the commandments, man. Yeah. If we could keep all 613 laws to a T, then you know how long we would live. You know, that adds life unto you, man. Our forefathers were not passing away at 60 and 40 and 50 from high blood pressure. Yeah. Come on.
Heart attack.
Exactly. Because, hey, all those that keep the law is life and peace, man. Mm-hmm. And those that leave it, what does it say?
It says, but such as leave it shall die.
Yeah, shall die. All right.
And there's so many people on the planet Earth that Esau, he has to promote death, a death-based lifestyle.
Right.
You know, from the food that you eat to the shows that you watch, to the things that you drink, to everything that you indulge in, it's basically banded under the spirit of death, man. You know, and there's really no shaking in here. That's why we need a savior, because we're not trying to, you know, build a system here. You know, Esau, Job 9:24, Esau got this, man.
Yeah. And what Esau got some shit called what? Life expectancy.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell you gonna put an expiration date on a life that you didn't even create? You know, that's not even supposed to be, a thing. Life expectancy of 70 years. Who the hell are you? But he knows the system that he has set up that you're bound to expire around 70 years.
Right.
That's you can't live anyway. He knows the things that he has in place and the GMOs and the food that he pumps into you, the chemtrails in the air. He knows one's body can only live so long in the bullshit that he puts out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he has something such as life expectancy. Life expectancy. How long you think people can live with us pumping chemtrails in the air? About 70 years. How long you think a person can live with us putting antibiotics in the chicken? He saw an experiment on every type of level, and and the conclusion that he came up with is 73 years.
And that's why they have retirement ages, which you retire usually around the time you damn near finna die,
Right.
as well as mortgages. But see, the whole system is built off of your time to die, really. You try to purchase a house, which takes, usually 25, 30 years.
30-year fixed loan.
30-year fixed loan. So you'll get that, you get the loan from the bank to purchase the house, and you got to purchase the house plus the interest and all this. And that's why mortgage, like you have the term mortgage, which goes into death. It's a death pledge, or a mortgage is a death note. So you basically paying it off to the time of death. There ain't no buying houses here in America.
Yeah.
Thinking that you're gonna purchase a house and it's gonna be, you're gonna have the property rights and have full. All you're gonna do is all the income that you're gonna make throughout your life, you're gonna spend it to give it to the next generation to sell that goddamn house when they're in trouble, man.
Right.
That's the reality of it.
Right.
You know how many people that has to sell their houses back to the government because we don't have generational wealth, which is a form of generational life. It's generational death, man.
Got another thing called foreclosure.
And then those 30 years that you've been paying this mortgage, you've been pumping utilities. You've done certain maintenance on the house. But by the time them 30 years up, that shit ain't even worth the fucking paper that you signed. It's not even worth the ink that's on the paper, man. Go ahead, bro. You said you had something? Oh, that was Coach Carl. You had something? You had something?
Yeah, I got something. This is Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. It's like the brother was saying, this is Esau's MO, man. Like he tried to sell his birthright real quick. He's in that quick mind state, man. That death-like mind state.
Okay, read that over.
All right, this is Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Right, so Esau doesn't truly see the value in life. He didn't even see the value in his birthright. And that birthright was, when you read in Genesis, the 25th chapter, or the 27th chapter, it goes into the blessings that was given to Jacob. And Esau basically didn't have no parts in that, But he really got the earth in today's time by death, destruction, and bloodshed, man. Like I said in John 10 and 10, the thief cometh not, but is still kill and destroy. And they fabricated this system that this system creates life, when in turn it creates death. Somebody get a Revelation 6. You can get Habakkuk 2. And we'll start at that Habakkuk 2, I think, verse 5. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. Because this white man ain't right, man. And you jakes that constantly follow this man, you're getting led into a pit. All right? There is no being you'll see these different individuals, and there's a couple of jakes that reach those certain pinnacles. You'll see a multi-billionaire jakes, you see a Michael Jordan, or you'll see a Kobe Bryant, which he died. You see these different individuals that generate a high level of revenue in the system, but that doesn't give them any type of freedom. See, they have Federal Reserve notes in abundance. But what can you really get with those Federal Reserve notes? Can you really get sovereignty, like I said before? Can you actually establish your own domicile or kingdom with your own people, an established system, and have subjects that pay you and your lineage taxes? None of these individuals could do that. The most that they could do is establish businesses under their houses, under their family. under their last name, which in most cases, shit, your last name was given to you by the goddamn white man anyways, man. You got it.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Yeah, and it's an innumerable amount of scandals that came out with your presidents, your leaders, your senators, your politicians, prime ministers. Like this whole thing with Epstein. There's millions of Epsteins. He was just a high-level devil that had more access to more wickedness. You'll see these local pedophiles, the reason why they can't really move and shake and go country to country and really do it big like that is because of lack of resources. But then you have these crackers that get super big, man. And they're the ones that are over the drug trafficking rings and the sex trafficking rings.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, piece of cake. Was that scandal came out, what was that, like 2-3 years ago? And piece of cake. And they show how many political ties was in that basically that corporation. You see the real naked. You see the nakedness of Esau, you're like, damn, these leaders is wicked as hell, man.
Including the niggas God Obama. He was a part of that Pizzagate too.
A part of it too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Because these individuals, they engage in what's known as sex magic, man. They have sex with little boys and little girls, and they'll drink the blood. Your brother had put a video out when Mr. Burns from the show The Simpsons spoke about drinking the blood of individual children because it has nutritional benefits, and it has high levels of potency, and that's part of the magic and the witchcrafts that this devil taps into too. And they drink a lot of blood of you blacks and Latinos. Just putting it straight and simple. This is the reality of the world that we're living in, man. Jake just wants to see. Most people just want to hear about money talk, man. Money talk, building, establishing, entrepreneurship, fat cars, bad bitches, diamonds. That's the facade, man. Nobody don't give a damn about that. That's the optical illusion that's put in front of you. But what's really going on behind the scenes to get to the dime, that actually got to the point where all these different diamonds and things is in the system, and these different cars. What do they do to your body's health? See, people don't really look at that. They just look at everything from a front view position, man. They don't never really do their research and look back. All right, you go read that.
All right, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Which the wine represents the philosophy. Whenever you push wine, you might go with a woman, go out with a woman, and you're starting off with wine and certain drinks and things of that nature. You do it to do what? Ease the mood. Most cases, if you're in defensive mode, you get somebody on a glass of wine and things of that nature, or you kick back a shot of liquor. Like if you're at a party, you don't never, in most cases, see somebody just super uptight. Most people are relaxed because what? They got that drinking. So Esau pushes that wine to really break down nations. That wine has tore and plundered most nations through what? Sometimes loans. Let's deal with the elites. The international banking families, they became some people say trillionaires, a multi-trillion-dollar conglomerate from banking. Riding that bench, throwing money in certain individuals' pockets and returns. All right, large returns that they knew that the corporations couldn't or the countries couldn't pay.
Interest.
Through extremely large interest, which is really loan sharking. Mm-hmm. And then they basically property seizures. It's basically big boy IRS. Instead of the IRS coming to you, they come in the countries taking that shit over, man. Keep going.
All right.
This is how this devil get down.
I got a precept right quick.
Okay, you go.
This is Revelation 18. I started at verse 2 and 3. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Yeah, and it says Babylon the Great is fallen. All right, Babylon goes back to the word Babal, which means confusion. This place is mixed with confusion. The word confusion itself comes with and fuse. Whenever you fuse something, you mix it. And this place has been mixed with all kind of lies and deception, trickery, sorcery, witchcraft. All right. and philosophies to bedazzle the minds of people. This really is nothing more than a giant amusement park, man. But see, the thing is, people are waking up. All right, starting off with the apostles and their elders, Elder Abba Vivens and King Masha, Elder Yaquab, and their the individuals that came after them, and even us brothers waking up to the truth. All right, it's just like the movie The Matrix. You see how everybody was asleep, everybody was walking and going along with the get along, but you started to have those souls that was awakening. It was just a small company of men that was able to yank that whole system down, man. Keep going.
Verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
And in Revelation, that was Revelation 18, I think, jumping down, it speaks about the level of, or all the products that they basically have their hands in. It speaks about the frankincense, it speaks about the cinnamon, the gold, the silver. Only a man that controls the whole earth has that level of control. You see it in the around the jump there.
All right, Revelation 18, starting at verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Mm-hmm. Keep on. And that's when America is destroyed. Because this whole place, this giant gift shop, or trick shop that most people are engaged in, that's having fun, is going to come to an abrupt stop. And one of the main things that's going to shut this place down is the missiles. All right, and the Lord's not going to take all the silver out of here first, and get the cinnamon, and we're going to get the the pleasurable things, the things that we most covet. We're not going to take those things on a chariot. This whole place is going to burn, man, because everything here is really lost its value. Esau has really devalued and demonized everything on this. That's why this is known as what? The bloody city. Keep going.
All right, verse 12. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet.
Yeah, who owns all these things? Not so-called blacks. Even when you think about black, proper individuals that have a lot of property within the black community, it'll be hard liquor. It'll be things of that nature, like Jay-Z and P. Diddy, the Ciroc and Ace of Spades. I think he's also a Medusa. It'd be small things like that. The so-called white man really has the full control. Majority of those liquor bottles that you're looking at, when you go into these liquor stores, are basically overran by mainly Edomites, man. Vodka and things of that nature. All these different fields of or all these different types of products, Esau has full control of them, and they'll grant you rights to actually sell certain liquor. If the white man didn't want to X out these so-called black-owned businesses, and these so-called black-owned businesses, they're established by the white man. They give them the leadway, which they call them gatekeepers. They open the gates to let them through so that they can make money, all right? And they'll have to pay what? Taxes. Keep going.
Continuing on, it says, and all thine wood and all manner vessels of ivory.
All manner of vessels of ivory. Keep going.
And all manner of vessels of most precious wood.
Most precious wood. See, people don't look at these things now. In today's time, you look at your vehicle as the most valuable property that you have. You look at your house that you're renting, or your apartment that you're renting, as an asset, when really you don't have control of nothing, man. That's even an illusion. You'll listen to these niggas, these rap niggas, and they just talk about more cars that they have. Those are nothing but burdens, man. What's the point of having 16 cars? Cars can't even reproduce. It ain't like you can have cars and while they're sitting, they can reproduce and make you more cars. That can make you more cars. That's an asset, and those are renewable resources. A car is not. It's resourceful to a certain degree in modern times to transport from one place to the next. That's it. But these jakes will pay top dollars. And then that's why cars, they're really not worth much. They're what's the term? Intrinsically, they don't hold any type of intrinsic value. They drop right when they get off the lot, man. They depreciate extremely fast, man. Continue.
All right, continuing on, it says
gold, silver. Hey, when you read in Genesis, I think the 12th chapter, it speaks about how Abraham was rich in gold, silver, and cattle, man. Livestock.
Continuing on, it says, and of brass,
and
iron, and marble.
And I remember back in school, you could see the world structures, and you can look at the places that produce the most of this type of agriculture. They'll probably have some like, Mexico, and it might have corn on it, or they'll have certain places with oil, picture of oil. Then they'll have tobacco, and then they'll have places in Africa, and they might have petroleum and all kind of different resources that you don't even be knowing about. And what the hell they have to do with anything? But it be in circulation all around you, man. What so-called Jake that has control over petroleum? Hell, we don't even have control over these fucking convenience stores, man.
Jake don't have control over his
We don't have
life.
control over shit. Our own life.
If I can say,
this is not our rest.
You going back to petroleum? They have countries in South America like Ecuador, and I think it's Colombia, if I'm not mistaken, who have that oil, but he started and took over those corporations, so he can cash that off for himself.
Yeah, and then you'll be deployed, like you speak about speaking about military and military stations. Your ass to be in Kuwait somewhere, not even knowing why the fuck you there. Here it is, you think you out after some goddamn one terrorist that blew up a building. You occupying fields, man. Right. You there to step on shit, man.
Right.
That's all you there for. To sit on top of resources. And make sure that nobody else can get their hands in it.
You telling me I'm over there for Osama bin Laden, and it only took six motherfuckers to get his ass. Right. Fuck you need 10,000 troops over here for?
And then it's like, all right, Osama bin Laden mission over. Why the hell we still here? There's 50 more Osama bin Ladens here. Right. You telling me, we got to get his kids now.
So you
got to get his grandkids.
So what, like the Iraqi war, about like 7,000 troops died? And you telling me 6 niggas took this dude out? You could have done that from the get-go, but you want us over here fighting unknown territories for no fucking reason. That doesn't click with those simpletons in the military.
Well, I think Henry Kissinger spoke about how military men are just dumb dogs. And they'll give you the dog collar. Hell, watch Jarhead. You see how simple.
It's on Netflix.
Hey, but that's a good movie.
It's on Netflix.
As a child, I watched that as a
young
lad. Too. I watched it multiple times though, but you see how simple they are in the military. They're all about drinking booze,
right?
Getting fucked up.
America.
And the reasons they go to the military on top of that. A lot of them, their women cheated on them. You watch American Sniper, you see why he went to the military. He didn't want to go to the military to be some damn war hero. A lot of times, their women ran them out the house and they just want to find some type of residence to really restore their manhood, and they get it re-lost in the military.
Right.
Keep going.
All right, Revelation 18 and 13.
This system is a joke, man.
It's a fucking joke.
Keep going.
All right, Revelation 18 and 13. And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil.
Frankincense and wine and oil. These different wine fields. You'll see these different, like you'll watch certain things on Food Network and things of that nature. Well, like I'm going into back in the day, but in today's time, of course, you have YouTube, where you can look at these different cranberry fields, and you'll see it in abundance. Or you see these different fields that might grow grapes, these agricultural clusters, the acres that they actually control. Most ain't talking about a little handful of things. We talking about ones that control states. All right, like Montana and Wyoming. Those are like they call areas like that the Corn Belt. That's where all this corn and all these different things come in circulation. All your produce is coming from one side of the state all the way to the other side, and it'd be real extremely big fields, man. And the so-called white man, how did he get control of those fields? Did he invest? And his children reaped the benefit, and then they eventually, became CEOs? No, they stole. Whoever occupied that land, they butchered them, did away with their bodies, and controlled and occupied the lands. And that's why he said the same thing. That's why Job 9 and 24, that prophecy has come to pass in today's time, man. Keep on.
Right. Revelation 18 and 13. Continuing on, it says, and fine flour,
keep going.
And wheat, and beast, and sheep,
which is your cattle, livestock. You have horses, which even owning a horse is extremely expensive. I think they were saying during the time of horses, they was pushing people to own. I forget how they switched it, but they swindled it. Like it was a time where they basically got people off of purchasing livestock and got people purchasing all these automobiles. And when everybody started purchasing automobiles, that's when they started controlling the livestock, man. But you have $1 million horses, man. Those thoroughbreds, those ain't no cheap ass horses. Even to have a horse, you have to have riches, to be honest. You have to have a level of acres. You have to have some type of property to even have a horse. That's true riches. Keep going.
All right, continue on. It says, in horses and chariots.
Which is a vehicular control. Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, which a lot of them are Edomite or Japanese, German-based, models, but none of them are come from Jake. And we're the creators of all things. A lot of these things were even inspired by ancient world chariots. Esau took the ancient world model with that's what you have in today's time, horsepower. You'll see an individual riding a chariot, and you'll see multiple horses steering it, that's in front of that chariot, and they'll steer it, to get to locations faster. And the more horses that you have saddled up, the momentum that you produce, and the more that they can actually carry. All right, that's why in today's time you have certain cars, built with certain engines and certain horsepower and things of that nature, because it's modeled after the things either Jake produced or the Most High produced. Same thing with these aerial vehicles, these airplanes and fighter jets. They took those models from birds, man. A lot of the aerial dynamics, and design, for speed. That's why most things that you see that's artificially created, there's something natural that was already here. They just superseded it and created something fake, to actually have a level of control as well as other things. But continue on.
All right, continue on. It says, and slaves.
And slaves. That's one of the main things that Esau has control over to create his enterprise, man. When they came here to the Americas, they wasn't looking to have joint rulership, man. They wasn't looking to have a Persian and Medo-Persian empire. Yeah, we got Spain over here. See y'all in South America doing y'all thing. Y'all making how much? We making this. Hey, let's get together. Let's build. We got some plots of land that we got. Y'all got corn. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. Y'all got tobacco. Oh, over here we got this, that, and other. Let's do bartering. They didn't say any of those things. They said, well, we got the sword, and we're gonna use it on your ass, and we're gonna keep butchering you and tearing you down until you are no longer on the land. Then we're gonna take the land, we're gonna rename it, put you in our educational programs, and make you learn of us, and create monuments. That's some gangster shit, man. That's mob life, man. Esau is the ultimate mobster. And then they'll get on you see these mafia, these fucking John Gotti's and these the big cats. They'll put them as the face of crime. John Gotti and what's this El Chapo. What about George Washington?
George Washington.
And the whiskey tax. He made a with the whiskey tax, they still making billions of dollars from whiskey tax unto this day. Keep on.
It says, continuing on, it says, and souls of men.
And souls of men. So not only are we slaves in the system, they want to get to the point of harvesting your soul. Tapping into, that's where that chip comes in, man. That chip is directly linked within your system. Everything, your blood flow, everything is going to be registered from that very chip, or the microchip, or the RFID chip, or the near frequency
NFC.
The NFC chip. Whatever title you call it, that's going to be inserted directly into you. Whereas they're passing legislation now. Michigan is speaking about basically having chips already on deck for employees. So what the hell are they going to do with that? Why are they going to just have chips? Oh, we just got these chips, microchips, just in case. Just in case of what?
Right.
But Jake doesn't ask these questions. I'm pretty sure you got assholes in Michigan that hear that and they just blowing it up. No, it ain't gonna be enough. They be like, it ain't gonna be in our lifetime. They always throw it to their children.
Or else they're in agreement, because this COVID-19 shit done shut everyone's job down. It's like if they need to fucking chip me, well, fuck it, I gotta go back to work. Chip me.
Yeah.
They'll be in agreement with it. A lot of people gonna agree.
All right, Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by one, he is a
So
proud.
he breaks laws by all these things. We just went through the track record, and guess what? That was a small snippet. We've been, starting off with the apostles and elders. We've been teaching this truth for decades. Upon decades. As far as the body of Great Millstone, that's a lot of years of exposés, man. As well as these whistleblowers that constantly alternative media. They always got new articles, man. We don't read all the articles that's coming out about Esau. Who the hell? You have to have 10 brains and be able to fucking work 10 laptops and be on all these different on a full-time scale in order to really catch everything Esau's doing now on forward. You can't go. Some things are lost in history, to be honest. Some things are just etched out that the world would never know. Keep going.
How many licks does it take to get to
I know.
the world may never know.
May never know.
Go on.
See, but in the kingdom of heaven, guess what? We're gonna figure out.
We're gonna figure it out.
And we're gonna put the pain on Esau, man. Keep going.
All right, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by one, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, look at Karen. Karen is doing her goddamn thing right now. You be like, I didn't know the white woman was that much of a devil. Right. You be like, okay, you be like, I knew she was a devil, but see, the internet has opened up the floodgates, man. You be like, damn, these white women are worse than. Like, which one is worse, the white man or the white woman? Hell, and a lot of times, being honest, a lot of those white men in slavery, they got their inspiration from the white women, man. Some of those white women pushed the envelope.
The Herod situation.
Mm-hmm.
If I can just say something, you see a white woman with dark shades, someone go the other way.
Big Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, the Devil Wears Prada. Goddamn, Satan behind those goddamn lenses.
Goddamn bitch wolf.
Yep. She devil. Keep on.
It says, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Why not keep it at home? Your crib is fat as hell. You think about these devil illustrious houses. You be on certain sites, you like, damn, you couldn't have went through that whole house. These 35, 40, 50, 60, $70 million mansions. Like fucking 50 bedrooms. Like, bro, you could not have went through that whole house. But it's not enough. In their eyes, that's not enough. You see these entrepreneurs that be billionaires. You know what? They always looking at the man on top of them. So they'll scheme and rob and do anything it takes to turn that 50 bedroom house into a 100 bedroom.
Right.
Even though they don't need it.
Right.
Here it is, you all decrepit, broke down, your rod don't work. Talking about Esau. 85, just through, but you want more.
Right. What the fuck you gonna do with it?
What the hell you gonna do with it? It's that conquering, that conquistador, Alexander the Great
mentality.
Devil mentality, man.
It's like, even like Elon Musk, right? Motherfucking rich. Fuck you want to go to space for? Why you got some space? Why you sending the Tesla into the high levels of the atmosphere? Let me say that. Like, you're bored. Bill Gates.
Yeah, you're bored.
Like, what are you doing? But it's that mentality.
Yeah, they can never have enough.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, I'm satisfied with this $400 million. All right, I got all these different firms all over the world. I got people working for me. You see, they don't sit down. Devils do not sit down. They still be working. You're like, why your old ass ain't sit down yet? You still working? Go kick back some fucking mojitos and chill. Watch the game. Hell, be on front line, with on the front of the
courtside.
Yeah, be courtside. Shit, be in the game, goddamn.
I know.
Create the game. These devils have power like that, but they always want more. Because they're not designed to chill. They're designed to be the devil.
Right.
Scripture speak about how the crooked can't be made straight. Keep going.
All right, continuing on, it says, and cannot be satisfied.
You can't be satisfied. You ever dealt with a woman that can't be satisfied? There's no end to her, man. Ain't no pleasing a woman that can't be satisfied. They had that one picture with Jake on his knees with that big ass earth in his hand.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah, and
she's sitting on his head.
She said, "Where the stars at, nigga?" Damn. It is. He done gave for the fucking world. Damn near breaking, snapping his back, holding up that earth to give to her. And she like, with a star, nigga, with a sun at, nigga. That's Esau. And Esau really, well, hey, the black woman's a devil too. I ain't even gonna say that Esau put that mentality in her. He helped push.
Assisted.
He gave her, like the scripture speak about the passage, that water.
Right.
It speak about, the scripture says in Sirach, give not a wicked
25.
woman water.
I'll get it.
Yeah, get that.
It's Sirach 25.
Yeah, water passage, the liberty to gather abroad. Basically, cut off her water, man. You cut off her water supply, she gonna only want to drink from your waters, man.
Right.
But when you unsatisfied, that means stuff is always flowing your way. You always getting, and you always need. Anybody that's needy like that, get the fuck away from them. Period.
Talking about
Sirach 25 and 25.
Okay, yeah. This is Sirach 25 and 25. I'll start at verse 24. Sirach 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Even and Satan, man. That's a tag team that stands to this day. There has never been no dynamic duo such as the black woman and the white man. Name it.
They the fucking Ed Hardy brothers, man.
They the fucking Hardy brothers. They work together. They come together like peanut butter and jelly.
Son of a bitch.
You would think, you like, really, shit. A lot of these black women is property of the white man. You know, they really are fully controlled by this. They're literally like white women in black skin. They're fucking blackface, man.
Fucking Ted.
Keep going.
Verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gather abroad.
Yeah, you cut off the water supply. See, back in the days of old, we could cut off women resources. Right. Are you talking shit? I ain't giving you no ride for the rest of your life. Hey, David did it. And then she committed adultery. Guess what? She has getting put to death. You're going to have somebody with shit ready to take her ass out. Yep. Hey, they would have certain men that would actually watch the household. In today's time, they would say, eunuchs.
Yeah.
But they would have certain men that watch the household, and those men were totally faithful. They wouldn't touch no woman that was given to the king and things of that nature. Nowadays, in today's time, you leave the crib, she got 5 niggas in the crib. Right. Hey, say for instance, you catch that woman, and you might want to put her to death. She could actually divorce your ass and get spousal support. The judge won't put her to death. She's not gonna get locked up for cheating on you. But as soon as you put hands on her,
oh, that's it.
Right. Your ass looked at like the worst shit on earth, man. This is an ass backwards system. It's twisted. Right. It's demented, man. And it's not our rest. So you jakes that's trying to sit back and relax, recline here, you ain't in the right spirit, man. You going? That was it, yeah.
Habakkuk.
And then we'll go to that Revelation 6.
Habakkuk 2 and 6. So not all these take up a parable against him, and a tonic proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Yep. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
And clay, when you look in the Hebrew, is I think a batya, which is a debt. If you look at the federal debt clock, it's constantly climbing up. It's never going down. Never going down. Every year, it goes up. It was a time that debt clock was probably $100. Now it's 25 trillion. It's 25 trillion.
Oh, just $100.
Yeah.
I can pay that
well,
back.
We'll get it back in 100 years. Throwing it off to the next generation. That's a demon itself. You just always putting it off to the next generation. Now you're 25 trillion in the hole, man.
It says as of right now, there are 26.
26?
Yeah, 26.
Where the hell are these trillions coming from, man? Esau is horrible with money. That's why it tells you in Sirach 10, I think of verse 24, how the Lord is going to set over one basically that is profitable.
Oh, the fourth verse.
And in 20, I think it's another verse going down though. It speaks about how the Lord is going to put in somebody in due time, and it's another one that speaks about through unrighteous dealings, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. You can get both of those, and we'll go to Revelation 6. You can go ahead.
All right, this is.
I'm talking about with the Revelation 6. I think verse 4. We're going to the red horse.
This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
Yeah, a horse is indicative of power. Speaking about horsepower. So Esau riding the horse, that means he's on a power seat. And he's galloping abroad, taking shit out, right? Kicking ass and taking names. Hey, keeping it real, these devils and their occupations. Hey, you see the red, white, and blue flag every damn near every country you go. You know, either it's blue, white, and red, or like what's the color of the flag of Puerto Rico?
Red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue, because it's America. It's controlled by a white man. If anything got red, white, and blue in it, the white man got it. Hey, and even these. Oh no, what about Mexico? Ain't Mexico like green? What's Mexico? Green,
red, and white.
Yeah, green, red, still the white man. they still make them feel like they have a little level of independence, but they still have to depend on the system. Still is. Got that?
Power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Hey, who language is the Mexicans speaking? They speaking Espanol, which is Spanish. Your ass didn't come from Spain and land there in Mexico and start speaking that language.
Right.
Those Spanish conquistadors beat that ass. And you gotta say it like that and put a whole new language on you. You don't even know your own language. A lot of Mexicans don't even know they were Aztecs.
Right.
They don't. These Mexicans were literally born yesterday. I work with them. I think this one woman, she was like, she was speaking about blacks being enslaved and this and that. She was a Mexican woman. The dude on my job was telling me about it. But he was telling, Mexicans was a slave too. She's like, no. Yes. Your ass was probably a slave just as bad. Now, we had the helm of it because the scriptures speak about, the head tribe, Judah, taking the first, the initial blow, so to speak. But those tribes took a pretty aggressive ass whooping themselves.
Well, yeah, like 1492, like you had mentioned earlier today, they said after Columbus came in, beat their ass, he brought their ass back over to Spain. They had a fucking slave slave trade as well.
Yep.
Just like the Judah Benjamin Levi did as well.
Yeah, that's right. Keep going.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Yeah, pure power. Like this Google my job. Pure power. Hey, that power, man. And the power represents the hand. And when he came with the power, like you have the saying that goes, when you a hammer, you think of everything as a nail. That's this devil. He looks at it, tells you that in Isaiah the 14th chapter, that hammer that was basically beating, battering, and butchering all nations. You watch movies like a good one is 1492 with Christopher Columbus. And they made Christopher Columbus seem like he was a good guy. Right. But he was a cheap devil. But it shows you his levels to devils, because sometimes, like I said before, the man you look at in the front isn't even the worst one. Sometimes his underlings, so to speak, the men that be under him, that want a position, that want to supersede that individual on top of them, they're damn near 10 times worse, man. They grimy as hell, man. And they have no regrets. You think these white people regretting the fact of the slavery? If they could take everything back and give America back, and blacks, so-called blacks, be free, and back in Africa, and they loot, you think they would do that? Reverse the hands of time? If you ask the devil, these white people, if you would reverse the hands of time, you wouldn't meet the wife that you were once with, the children, all these things of America. You turn everything back and give the so-called blacks their lands back, the so-called Latins their lands back. You would get your, land back, which is the land of Edom. Would they do that? 99.999, which is really 100%, would say, hell nah. I'm doing better here than I ever did. Continue on. So they're all the devil. And that's how you could sum it up to see if they are the devil. They are the devil.
And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
And there was given unto him a great sword. And in today's time, you see how, modern weapons, how they design and how much they could blow up. You can go actually, it's an app. If brother's never been there, you can see it's like a nuclear detonation site. You could type in top bombs in time. The Tsar bomber, which is a very popular Russian missile. You have oxygen bombs that was, you're going to certain bombs that was Little Boy and Fat Man that was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And you can see the proximity of how big those explosions are. Those ballistic explosions, and they'll show you the amount of TNT that's basically harvested to blow these different buildings up. This man owns the sword, man. You gotta think, a firecracker itself, you hold a firecracker in your hand, that shit will blow your whole hand off, depending on the level of firecracker,
The intensity
of that firecracker. This man owns bombs, missiles, nuclear missiles. Do you know what you can destroy with a nuclear missile? Countries, the world. And the devil has, that's why we know, missiles gonna drop, man.
Right.
There ain't no speculation, we ain't scratching our head about it. Missiles gonna drop. Look who got them.
A psychopath.
Right. A psychopath. Oh, you finna say something?
No.
Okay, you keep going.
Verse 5, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse.
Yeah, which the come and see represents basically opening the vision. Come and see, it sounds like a door is being opened. So he's seeing these different visions of events that take place. And he said he's seen a black horse, which black is the color of death.
Mm-hmm.
You never see people in the funerals wearing all white or green or lavender. Everybody wears black, the darkest pitch black,
right,
when you're in a funeral. And he's Mr. Funeral. He's all about putting down bodies, man. And he'll market off of your death. The funeral homes, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry off of people's death. Keep going.
And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
Keep going.
And I heard a voice in the
But that's really the main point. We'll jump to Sirach. That's really the main point.
All right, this is Sirach chapter 10. I'm going to start verse 7. Pride is hateful before the Most High and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. All right, so prideful is hateful before the Most High, and Esau Edom is the most proudest of all nations in the scriptures, man. That's why the scriptures say pride go up before destruction, man. This place is just a big sacrifice for these missiles to hit this bitch.
Yeah.
So
and the ones that's proud is the leaders of the people. We ain't got no reason to be proud. Look at your bank account.
Right. Look at your life.
Look at your life. Right. This is a mediocre lifestyle. And Jake thinks this is living. Who the individual that made the song? This ain't living. This
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye. And I'm pretty sure he was living semi-fat in the eyes of Jake.
Inner city blues.
But it's levels to that. I think Dick Gregory had said if you give somebody $1 million and you add it up to minutes, it's like 13 hours or some shit like that. But if you take $1 billion and you add it up to I think minutes, the number was that it was crazy. He was like, who the fuck want to be a millionaire but a fool, man? And that's the truth. Because more money, more problems, more taxes, more people on your back, more family members you got to depend on, more artificial niggas in your circle, more artificial life. People are because they don't have the right mind frame. Money doesn't even matter, man. Keep going.
Verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries and riches got by the seat.
Yeah, this devil ain't dealing right. It's basically having a rigged card deck. Here it is, you trying to play cards with somebody that's rigging the deck every goddamn time. But you are, man, I'm gonna beat him this time. Shit, no the hell you ain't. This is Monopoly board. That's like playing Monopoly and all the property nigga own. Right. There is your ass always thrown in jail. Right. Damn, I'm just playing this game to be thrown in jail. Shit. That's why we got to get saved out of here. This platform that we're living on is not for us, man. We build here. We commune with one another. We get in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, and we pray to get delivered, man. This is not our residence of chilling, man. You do your thing because we in the flesh, of course. But this is not the end all be all. This is the accomplished mission. The mission is accomplished when we're in the kingdom. Keep going.
It said, continuing on, it says, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Yeah, so it says through unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So Esau got riches, but did he get him the riches truthfully? Like I said before, it's the right way to get rich, and it's the wrong way to get rich. And Esau has taken the wrong route, and they took their family members and their houses to become filthy rich off of the backs and blood of the poor. Man. Keep going.
That wasn't on that.
And I wanted that other one and we'll close.
I got you. This is Sirach 10 and 4. the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord.
Yeah, so the power of the Lord, the hand of the Lord, he gave it to Esau. That's why it says the earth is given. Whenever somebody gives anything to you, it's a present. All right, so Esau even having the power of the earth, that was given to him by the Most High. Revelation 6, keep on.
It says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set it over one that is profitable.
So it says in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So using common sense, if he's gonna in due time put over it one that's profitable, then that means that whoever's in power is not profitable. Because in due time he said he's gonna set over one that is profitable. This man is not here to prosper and to profit the world. He's unprofitable. That's why everything you do, it seems to backfire, or it seems to have some type of damn demonic catch to it, man. Anything that you do, the woman that you, everything has been tainted. Like it says, speak about things that rust, rot, and decay. Everything that you have possession of is subject to being to decaying, rotting, or basically being taken from you, man. That's why the scriptures speak about setting up the kingdom in heaven, where rock, must, or moth does not corrupt or steal, or thief. Rock, we said that thieves cannot come in and break in and steal, man. So that's what we should be having our minds for. That and that alone. You got to be mission focused. We on a mission. The Lord really dropped us off here in America. Now we here, and you get a woman, you get your things, you develop relationships and things of that nature. But the mission is to get the fuck out of here, man. Point blank, period. So we want to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh, Shah, Bashem, Kapadash.
Y'all brought us to the apostle and others a great millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.